right, everybody. Welcome, friends. This is Points with Phillip, and we have a new guest, and that is Tyler's credit card tips. So, honestly, Tyler, I first saw your videos a couple months ago, and I really loved your approach to talking about cards that you have some kind of hands-on experience with. And I think we're going to get into a couple that you have lot of really good knowledge here in a little bit. But
Mm.
thanks so much for being here. Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and why you're doing YouTube?
Awesome. Well, thanks, Philip. I'm glad to be here, obviously. But a
Glad to
little
have
bit
you.
about me. My name is Tyler. First of all, I'm from Atlanta. My hometown is, I guess, Atlanta, because I'm within the Metro Atlanta area, even though I live an hour and 15 away from downtown, because that's just how it works, I guess.
Yeah.
Um, right now, my full-time job is as an airplane mechanic. I work on
Wow.
Piaggio Avanti 180s, so an Italian turboprop plane.
That's incredible.
And pretty much I started YouTube because I noticed there was a lot of different perspectives, but the minimum age was sort of 25 and up.
Yeah.
And me at the time, I was 20, starting my channel. I was like, maybe I can
Right.
offer some sort of different perspective from everyone who's a little bit older, um,
That's awesome.
to help everyone sort of get a different viewpoint on how to approach credit cards and credit card points and everything. So yeah, it's pretty much why I got into it.
That's amazing. That is so cool. I didn't realize that about the working on airplanes thing. That is so cool to me. And
Yeah,
I guess it's fitting that you're into the reward space now.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm definitely when we're at the airport traveling, I'm definitely nerding out a little bit about the planes that are on the ramps and whatnot, watching them take
Yeah.
off. It's pretty cool. But yeah, I definitely really enjoy it. I enjoy it for
That's
sure.
awesome. That's one of the reasons I love watching Nonstop Dan's videos on YouTube because he is an absolute av geek and he will tell
Yeah.
you like he knows down to the variation in like the floor plan of each
Mhm.
like particular plane. He like really gets into the nitty gritty and that's always really cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. So Tyler, kind of the reason why I wanted to have you on today is that you just recently made, I think, your first big travel redemption. Is that right?
Yep.
Yeah, and you did a video talking about how great it was, and I really just, if you could kind of walk us through how you made it and kind of why you made the decisions you did.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, to start off, this coming February on Valentine's Day, like the end of the weekend, the week before, and into that weekend, me and my girlfriend have a wedding to attend in Mexico City. And because the destination and time was pretty much figured out for me, which is honestly two of the main hardest parts about planning a trip is figuring
Yeah.
out when you're going to go and where you're going to go. So I was thinking about it. I was like, why don't I try to book this trip fully on points? Because I'd never done anything like that before. It was
Wow.
always I was paying for the flight with cash or the hotel with cash. So it was either or. So I was like, I'm going to make this my first big international redemption to sort of really get some experience under my belt in terms of actually doing it.
That's awesome.
So I evaluated my options and deciding what cards to go with. At the time, really the only lender that would throw me a bone was American Express. So
Yeah.
I kind of had to go with American Express in that sense of who I'm going to get my points from. So, and all my life, I've pretty much been a Hilton guy. My family, anytime we
Nice.
stayed anywhere, it was pretty much at a Hilton. So Hilton's all I've
Yeah.
really known my entire life. So I wanted to stay at a Hilton. So after looking at all the cards and sort of being, not necessarily scared, but getting cold feet a little bit about going for like an annual fee card, like the middle one's the Surpass, right?
Right.
For
Yeah.
Hilton. Yeah, going with the Surpass. I decided to go with the no annual fee Hilton Honors card. And at the time, it had that elevated welcome bonus of 100,000
Absolutely.
points and the $100 worth of statement credit. So to me, it was a perfect time. So in terms of getting hotel points and deciding on which hotel I was going to go with,
Hmm.
Hilton was pretty much set.
Nice.
So I
Okay.
got that card with that welcome bonus. And before that, I was wanting to start my like business card journey in that sense. And
Yeah.
again, American Express was the only one throwing me a bone around that time. So I ended up going with the Blue Business Plus. Blue
Okay.
Plus card. I got the standard welcome bonus because I mean that one never hardly
Right.
offers elevated bonuses. So I just went with the standard 15,000 points after $3,000 to spend in the first 3 months.
Yep.
I think
Yeah.
that's what it is. And I got that bonus. So that was 21,000 American Express points and then about 108,000 Hilton points, to play with at
After you
that
spend.
point.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah. And then the question of how am I gonna get there came up. So
Yeah.
I
That's
so I
usually a good
started
question.
yeah, I know, right? So I started looking around at like kind of what would be the easiest option to get points quickly because I was trying to book because I know as you get closer, you sort of get more options for like rewards as they try to push those seats.
Right.
They'll add unfilled seats to like rewards charts and whatnot to actually
Yeah.
put people in them. However, I wanted to book as soon as possible though. So
Yeah.
I figured that the best and quickest option to actually be able to get the points I needed was to go with the Barclays Aviator Red Card
Oh yeah.
before they stopped, accepting
Nice.
applications. So I applied for that and I got approved for that.
That's
And
incredible.
the $99 annual fee being paid, and then the one purchase on it, you get those 50,000 American Airlines
Hmm.
points. It's huge. It's like the easiest 50,000 points you can get.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's
Like
it's
that
really great.
was the best sign of bonus in the game, like while it existed. Like that was incredible.
Yeah, and it sucks that like I wasn't around early enough to get. Wasn't it at one point? It was like 70,000, wasn't it?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't live or I wasn't around to see the light of those days, but I did get the 50,000 before they just stopped accepting applications.
That's
So
incredible.
yeah, I know. I was really stoked because I think when I got it, it was like 2 weeks later they stopped accepting applications.
Wow. So you
So
almost got right in under the wire there.
exactly. It wasn't
That's
quite
cool.
like 1 week out or whatnot, but it was still pretty close.
Yeah.
So that gave me the 50,000 American Airlines points that I needed or that I
Nice.
was going to get to actually be able to start looking for flights to book. And so now that I had all my points or what I thought was all my points that I needed, I started, kind of looking in the area to see what was around. And there were quite a few Hilton properties in Mexico City around where the actual reception and whatnot and all the activities they had planned
Yeah.
was going to be. And we ended up deciding on the Hilton Mexico City Reforma. It's
Oh,
a
okay.
it's a it's a pretty nice hotel. It's pretty much slap downtown Mexico City.
Nice.
And yeah, I was really stoked to see it. And so the redemption actually ended up being about 60,000. Let me make sure that that's correct.
I think I remember you saying that the total redemption was for 200,000 points. And was
Yep,
that
the
for 4
total
nights or 3 nights?
that was for 4 nights.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that
All
was for
right.
4 nights. Here we go.
So it probably
So
was what,
yeah,
50,000 points a night?
yeah, it was
Roughly.
about
Yeah.
it was right at 50,000 points a night. So yeah,
Okay.
so
That's
it ended up
actually
being
really
fifty
cool to
thousand
have a
points.
Hilton property where you want to go for 50,000 points. Like that seems pretty cool.
That's what I was thinking. I was like, wow. I mean, and the hotel was really nice as well. It was a step up from there was a Hampton Inn like a couple blocks away, but
Hmm.
I wanted since this was like the first big international one that I was doing, I wanted it to be I guess sort of like special in that sense of like I
Right.
wanted it to stay somewhere
Absolutely.
unique. They have reformas everywhere, but to stay in a reforma as opposed to like a Hampton Inn, I just considered it
Right.
more special. So yeah, they came in at 50,000 points a night. I transferred the American Express points that I had over to Hilton. They had a transfer bonus as well of 25%. So it transferred over the American Express points to Hilton, and I got like 50. It was 50. Sorry, looking through all these notes.
Yeah, definitely. Sorry. No, so
Yeah.
yeah, so okay, so you told me that you just said that you transferred your American Express points to Hilton. And so I think that might actually kind of be in itself a little bit of a contentious statement because I know a lot of people would probably be like, "Whoa, what were you thinking?" So,
It's a
what
sin. I
yeah,
remember
right,
mentioning
yeah.
that. It's a sin. Yeah.
So what were you thinking?
I was thinking that the rate that the rooms were going for cash on the
Mhm.
Valentine's Day weekend compared to the amount of points that it cost, and then the
Yeah.
transfer bonus for American Express, it ended up meaning that the actual redemption, the cent per point value ended up being exactly the average amount that you would get. So 0.5 cents
Oh,
per
wow.
point.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
it ended up still it ended up still, there was no opportunity cost in that sense to me because
Yeah,
I
I
was
got
able
you.
to make the sort of minimum value for Hilton points that they should be when you're using them.
Right.
Even though I did, take the chance on transferring those American Express points,
Yeah.
in my eyes, it was worth it because I got a
Yeah.
really nice hotel for a decent amount of nights, and I didn't have to, get, multiple Hilton cards or,
Right.
anything
That's
else like
true.
that.
Yeah, I loved your approach. So it seemed to me, and correct me if I got this wrong. So you had the sign-up bonus from the Hilton Honors card, which is actually
Yeah.
really high for a $0 annual fee card, which was
Oh yeah.
awesome. So that was the first part, and you had to get to 200,000. So then you transferred the American Express points at I think so that was there was a bonus, so it was more than 1 to 2. I think he was at like 1 to 2.5 or something like that.
Yeah.
Basically, yeah.
hmm
Okay. So how did you get the rest of the points?
So the rest of the points, I ended up falling like 40,000 points short. And
Okay.
Hilton's always doing 100% bonus when you buy points. So you buy
Yeah.
20,000, you get an additional 20,000. So I ended up buying 20,000 points and then getting an additional 20,000. So I bought a total of 40,000 points for $200, and that's all I technically paid in cash for that hotel. So
That's
that's how I
amazing.
ended up getting the rest of those points to that 200,000 mark, made the booking, all set.
That's incredible. So I've got to say, so far over this interview, and we haven't really gotten into that much. You have already exhibited so many different interesting skills about how to make these points redemptions work. So you're talking about utilizing kind of buying points towards making your redemption work. You're kind of utilizing sign up bonuses, but then you're also utilizing like these transfer bonuses too. So it seems like it sounds like you're killing it, honestly.
Stop, man.
So
You're making me blush.
right so yeah so like I've kind of been the same way too. Like I bought Hyatt points to make a redemption with my wife and I last December. So we stayed at the Park Hyatt New York,
Mhm.
and at the time it required 45,000 points. And so basically we were, because we're going to New York City in Christmas, it's kind of stupid. Like we were looking at, there was a Hampton Inn and kind of a curio collection Hilton that was like, like 600, $700 a night,
Yeah.
or, 70, 80,000 points. And I was like, well, if we're going to spend money anyway, let's just buy the points. So I think it was like $600 or $700, bought the points with Hyde. They were on sale at the time,
Mhm.
and we ended up getting that room, which was for $1,500. And
Yeah.
so, yeah, buying points is a great way to kind of arbitrage that stuff.
Yeah. I've never discouraged from buying points. Honestly,
Yeah.
I check fairly often to see who's having like bonuses when you buy points because I don't really mind it. I mean, especially when there's so much opportunity to get such high cent per point redemptions on those
hmm
points that you buy. The money you pay, sometimes you can double it,
Yeah,
honestly.
absolutely right. And I think when a lot of people think about buying points, I feel like there's a pressure there, right? So there's a pressure like if I'm buying it at X, I have to get at X plus Y, right?
Yeah.
I've got to get more value. But what I found is even if like let's say that we know that we're going to make a big redemption down the road, like a year, maybe even 2 years down the road, if you're saving towards it, that could actually kind of be like, oh, okay, I can buy 100,000 points now, and then towards something else. So like I'm definitely not against like even if you're getting face value for your points, like exactly what you paid for it. I still feel like there's a way to make that kind of make sense in a way.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I totally agree with that. Using it not as like the end all be all to get your points, but sort of as one of the stepping stones to get the amount of points that you sort of need in that
Yeah.
way, especially
Awesome.
for something down the line, like you said.
Yeah. All right, so we know that you're a Hilton guy, and what I love here too, I think you said that there was a Hampton Inn that was closer, but you kind of wanted to ball out a little bit and get,
Yeah.
you know, the nicer property, right? Which is that's amazing because my wife and I are the same way. Like if we have the option to stay at a Hampton Inn or a little bit nicer, like we'd prefer it a little bit nicer, just because you don't have to worry about the cheese whiz omelets and the whole 9 yards. So
Yeah.
but yeah, no, that's awesome. Okay, so we found the hotel and we made it happen with a bunch of different kind of areas, and we're going to be there for 4 nights. How are we getting there?
Well, we're getting there American Airlines. So
Okay.
we got 50,000 points to play with. And my home airport being Atlanta, which is Delta's hub of all hubs. American Airlines might be considered kind of questionable to kind of go all in on, I guess, in this sense. But it sort of made sense because before I got the Aviator Red, I was looking at American Airlines, their route network, seeing
Okay.
how they would maybe go about getting me from Atlanta to Mexico City.
Right.
And I was looking at, their flights, and I noticed that the routes that they were going to take me didn't involve going around, your elbow to get to your rear end kind of thing, not
Yeah.
going to Charlotte and then to Dallas Fort
Yeah.
Worth and then down to Mexico. There was a layover, but I mean, it's really
Right.
no big deal. So I figured out that the routes that it was going to take me wasn't really going to be a big deal, even though American
Okay.
Airlines doesn't have a big foothold here in Atlanta. So
Yeah.
I started looking. We're leaving out on the 11th from Atlanta. I was looking at flights, and I landed on one that was 8,000 points per person.
Wow.
So one
Okay.
of the really good value ones. So like it wasn't quite the 7,500 or the 6,000 you can get sometimes.
Right.
Like I was looking and I found a flight. It was one way from Atlanta to Seattle. It was 6,000 points on American Airlines.
Nice. That's
And I
amazing.
was
Yeah.
like, wow, okay.
Let's go to Seattle. Let's just go get some milk or something.
That's what I'm saying. If I had any more American Airlines points, I would have definitely. But problem is that those 50 I had, they're gone now, and city's not being nice to me right now at all. So there's really no way to get any more right now.
Yeah.
So I found the flight that I wanted. It leaves at around noon, and there's a layover in Dallas Fort Worth. Luckily, my player two, my girlfriend, has the Venture X card, and there's a Capital One lounge there in Dallas Fort Worth. So the 2.5 hour layover that we're going to have there is honestly going to fly by because that lounge is so nice. We took a trip to the Northeast, so New England area. We flew into New York, went to Boston, Salem, Portland, all those areas, and our flight home connected through Dallas Fort Worth. So that was the first time we got to experience that. And it was really nice. The Dallas Fort Worth Capital One lounge is really nice. So that sort of played a hand in making this flight a little bit easier to tolerate, especially with the layover. So we got that flight from Atlanta, Dallas Fort Worth, and then down to Mexico, getting us in around 8 o'clock. So 12 to 8, only 8 hours of travel. Really not that bad.
No,
really not that bad at all. And then 8,000 points a person. 16,000 total.
Yeah.
For that leg of the trip.
Okay.
No, that's just to Mexico.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
So, and then the flight's back. So we got to get home. So the flight's back. We are leaving out of Mexico City around 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And we connect through Miami. And Miami has a handful of lounges that are accessible through Priority Pass. So I think there's a club lounge. There's an airline. I think it's Turkish Airlines or Air France has a lounge in Miami. I can't remember which one.
They have a couple lounges. I don't remember each one because I haven't flown through Miami recently.
I haven't flown through Miami at all. I had to look on the Priority Pass website.
Yeah.
But the thing with the lounges and the thing with the layovers is that I knew we were going to have layovers, especially with who we're flying with, American Airlines. they're not going to have any direct flights from Mexico City to Atlanta. It's just not in their route network. If we were flying out of Charlotte, sure, that'd probably happen. But I knew we were going to have lounge, or we were going to have layovers. So
Hmm.
in order to make those layovers sort of more bearable, because they're both about 2.5 hours. So in order to make
Right.
those a little bit more bearable, I wanted to go through airports where we'd have lounge access. We could,
Nice.
slow down a little bit, get something to eat, enjoy our time, kind of sitting and waiting for our next
Absolutely.
flight.
Yeah.
And
That's
then
awesome.
from Miami, we go to Atlanta, and we get into Atlanta at midnight, which sucks. I
Wow.
mean, it
Yeah.
really does. But the only other options were well into the next day. Like we get back
Right.
in at like 6 a.m. or 8 a.m. or 4 a.m. There was really no other options out there. But so yeah, and those seats ended up being a little bit more expensive than the ones to Mexico City. They ended up being 16,500 points per person.
Oh, okay.
So the total ended up being right under 50,000 at 49,000.
Oh, okay.
49,000 total points for there and
Wow.
back.
So
But for
literally
ones,
your
yeah,
budget basically.
exactly. And
That's
that's another
amazing.
thing that played into the routes that I took was my budget.
Right.
I kind of had to work with it. There were other ones that went through more desirable cities or had shorter layovers, but they were like 30,000 points a person or like 16,000 points per person, but I can't have four,
Right.
two people, both legs for that much. It's over budget.
Right.
So that
Yeah.
also definitely did play a big role into, the picking the routes. But yeah, and for one welcome bonus, getting me there and back, that's all I needed it to do. So
That's amazing. Yeah.
definitely, yeah, I'm definitely really excited that it all ended up working out pretty well.
So yeah, so pretty much your trip was possible off of 3 cards and their sign-up
Yeah.
bonuses basically, right? Yeah.
And
That's
yeah,
incredible. And how much did you end up saving based off of your calculations and everything?
I ended up saving, let me get the exact number, $2,000, $2,028.56 total.
Wow.
So yeah,
Okay.
huge, huge
Yeah,
amounts of money
that's
saved.
amazing. That's incredible. Yeah. Awesome. So I actually you brought up a really great point too about the fact that the points can be different depending on which way you're going. So one of the
Mhm.
things that I've noticed is my wife and I we fly to DC a lot because I used to work there. We met there. We have a bunch of friends there. And what I noticed is that Delta has pretty good seats, point redemptions from Orlando to DC. But what I noticed is that Southwest is really good point redemptions from DC to Orlando. And
Mhm.
so we actually have done kind of split like that, where, like, because for some reason they each decide the other leg of that trip they're going to make the most money off of with points and everything.
Yep.
And so if you just kind of say, I don't have to go with you for the full round trip, then, that can work too. But yeah, no, definitely picking kind of separating out your itineraries, going to different places, that can definitely save you a lot of points.
Yeah, I was trying to book a short weekend trip for me and my girlfriend to go to visit her family. She has some family in Ohio near
Okay.
Cincinnati, and I was trying to plan a trip for that, but the dates that we were picking, some of the sites didn't have, like, I was trying to go through Virgin to book Delta, and Virgin
Oh
wasn't
yeah.
advertising flights back. So I was thinking about flying there through Virgin, or like on Delta through Virgin, booking that flight, and then flying back like a budget airline like Frontier.
Oh, okay.
So going there on Delta, coming back Frontier, kind of splitting it up just based on, how much it cost on Frontier to come back, cash
Yeah.
wise, and then how much points it costs going there on Delta, and also just flight availability as well. So yeah, I've splitting it. Yeah, I definitely see that's very much, there's value to be had with, splitting it up, because loyalty to it's just not there, especially when it comes to
Yeah.
going there and back. If you can get
Absolutely.
better,
Yeah.
value for splitting it, all day,
Oh
all
yeah.
day.
Absolutely. Another thing too that you mentioned about the fact that, so you're in Atlanta, right? So
Mhm.
most people, when they get into points and miles, they're like, okay, if I'm this close to a substantial hub, I should just get that card, right?
Right.
Like if I'm in Atlanta, I'm getting the Delta card. If I'm in, Dulles, I'm getting a United card, and
Yeah.
stuff like that, right? Um, But you've hit on, again, another really huge secret with credit cards, points, and miles is that sometimes the best space can be within a competing airline in that hub. So I recently did a credit card consultation with someone who is based out of, I think, St. Paul or something, and they were like thinking we needed to be Delta, Delta, Delta. But one of the things I've noticed was that a lot of the point redemptions could be found with, maybe that one United flight that left that day or that one American flight that left that day. And so, yeah, like definitely kind of you're hitting the nail on the head. Finding kind of that one, like just because you're in a hub doesn't mean you have to fly with that airline. Now, does it mean that that airline experience will be better? Probably, but if you're
Yeah.
trying to save points, you just do what's best. So that's amazing.
Yeah, I think that's most obvious with the American Airlines because I mean, you get a flight from Atlanta to Dallas Fort Worth, and you compare Delta's point redemption value to Americans. You won't
Yeah,
find a Delta flight for 8,000 points to Dallas Fort Worth. It's just not
no,
out
yeah.
there. So
And
like
even
you
if it
said,
is, like it's just going to be that basic economy ticket, where
yeah,
you're literally last in line to get on the plane, like the whole 9 yards.
there's no like security with your ticket. If you have to cancel, you lose everything.
Right.
Um, I think there's a laundry list of other like disadvantages for like the basic economy stuff if you're not like main cabin. But yeah,
Right.
I see what you mean there. Find that sweet spot, within the competing airline to get
Hmm.
your points redemptions. Yeah.
Yeah, awesome. So, when you made this whole, redemption, were you able to be like, "Hey, look, I was a baller," right? Like,
I was I felt I'm gonna be honest. I felt pretty good. I really
yeah.
did because there was a lot of nerves with it,
Hmm.
and so not that I wanted it to be over, but once it was over, it was a big relief. It
Yeah,
was a big relief to see it
absolutely.
all booked, it all worked out, and I felt good. I felt good knowing that I'm staying somewhere nice. I'm flying a good airline. It all worked out. I felt, to be honest, I felt pretty good.
That's
It was a
awesome.
really good
Yeah.
feeling.
That's incredible. I have to think. So back to a year and a half ago was my first business class redemption. I had exactly 100 and I think 5,000 membership reward points,
Hmm.
and I found two business class tickets on Air France for just a date that worked for us, and it was from Paris to New York, and it was 100,000 points. And so like I was like, yeah, we're gonna jump on this, right? I need this. But and then once I actually started like the process of making that transfer over, I was like, what if it goes? Like what if it's not going to be there anymore? Because I just used my entire wad on this, Air France thing, and if it's not a saver fare, Air France points are kind of worthless. Like you can find a business class seat for like 250,000. It's
Yeah.
crazy. Um, and so that moment in between, like when you start to execute it and then when you actually finish it, it's the most stressful period
It
because
feels
you're
like
just
you're
like,
on, yeah, it feels like you're on the wobbliest bridge ever made.
yeah,
Because you're on that bridge between, starting and finishing it, and it feels like the bridge just starts shaking uncontrollably.
mm-hmm,
Because I mean,
absolutely.
at that point in my head, everything that could go wrong might go wrong. So yeah, there's definitely a lot of nerves involved with that stage of booking. I get it
Yeah,
100%.
yeah, absolutely. So I have to ask kind of the follow-up question to all this, right? So after nearly every single redemption I've made, there's a point where I look back and I'm like, damn it, I should have done something else. Like I just like I find like, oh, like if I looked for another day, like I could save like 15,000 points or something. Or was there anything like that for you? Were you like, I should have done something different, or it would have been better if I did something different?
Yeah, honestly, it lies less in the redemptions I made and more in the card I got.
Okay.
Hindsight 2020 should have gone with the Surpass rather than
Oh
the
yeah.
Hilton Honors because it also had an elevated offer of I think 175,000 points
Oh,
at the
that's right.
time.
Yeah, it did.
It
Yeah.
and the annual fee was 150 or is $150.
Right.
Um, and so I would have saved the money having to buy those points. So there's a $50 saved immediately. Comparing the annual fee to the amount that I paid for the points, and
Oh yeah,
also
that's true.
the status that would have come with the Surpass, the Hilton Gold status, that possibility for an upgrade when we got to the already nice hotel would have been pretty nice as well. So
Yeah.
that's probably my biggest regret.
Okay.
is the card that I went with. I definitely should have gone for the Surpass, but in terms of the redemption value I got at the time, and the actual hotel I booked and the flights I got, I don't think I could have done any better with the resources I had. So yeah, no.
That's awesome.
So
That's
luckily,
awesome.
just one, just one,
Yeah,
just
that's
one
great.
smaller one. Yeah,
That's a solid, amazing redemption. Then, if you only have like one thing that maybe I could have done better, and the flip side of that is that you still have that Surpass sign up bonus that you can get, and so it'll
yeah,
be high again. You know,
that's true with American Express's family or lifetime. Is it family
yeah.
language? Yeah, it's the family one.
It is called family language, but currently it does not apply to Hilton cards. It's
Oh
theorized
yeah,
that it
that's
will
right.
start
Yeah,
to, but yeah.
that's true.
All right, so I definitely have a lot of questions that I want to ask you, but I feel like we need to do our fans the favor, kind of take care of them a little bit, and I want to just kind of run through the discussion that we've seen a little bit. So we have Mike Newland here. Thanks so much for being here, Mike. He is an incredible friend of the channel.
What's up, Mike?
He's awesome. And then James, do you guys own any Bitcoin? So I'll let you take this one. Do you have any Bitcoin?
I actually don't have any Bitcoin. The only experience I have with, I guess, cryptocurrency is XRP. The
Okay.
last big spike that it had, I was in the middle. I bought halfway up the spike, held it, had the most gut wrenching nerves ever watching the price fluctuate while it was up. Just sold it.
Absolutely.
Because I mean, there was so much hype around XRP for like 4 months. Oh, this is going to be, next new big thing, XRP to $100.
Yep.
It hasn't touched 4. So I got out, but no Bitcoin.
Yeah.
Just a little bit of XRP fooling around. What about you, Philip?
Yeah, so I have some Bitcoin, and that's because that's my rewards with the Gemini card. And so I've been fortunate enough to have 2 referrals for that card total. And so the $100 is now, I think, 40 in Bitcoin.
Yeah.
So, it's going down. It's not a good time for that. I will say last year, sorry, go ahead.
I was just saying, no, it's not a good time for that.
Yeah, no. Yeah. So last year and the last 2 years, I noticed that so there's a substantial amount of volatility in Doge, and then there was another meme coin that I was part of too. That was really so here it was I forgot what it was called, but it was really kind of Shiba. Yeah, so I was in Shiba too, and the great thing about Shiba is that it's incredibly small in value, which means like if you buy $20 worth, you're buying a lot, right? Which means that like if there's a somewhat small like increase in value, depending on how much you're invested, that can substantially increase your game. And so what I used to do is I would just buy it whenever it would dip. And even if it was $200, something like that, and then just wait for it to go up like maybe 2-3%, and then sell out, wait for it to dip again, and then do the same thing. And I made a decent amount doing that, but I always cleared out the position, reacquired it, which is terrible with capital gains tax, but it's worth playing around with, but I had $60 in it, and then it's down to $15 in Doge right now. So I'm just kind of waiting for that to happen. But that's the thing that sucks with playing that sort of market.
Yeah, because it's like for every 1% that normal markets are volatile, crypto's 10 percentage points. So it's definitely if you get knee deep into it, it's you can get pretty rough, but you can also significantly increase your net worth. Let's just put it that way.
You definitely can. Yeah, a lot of people have made a lot of money. And so maybe we should start Points of Phillip coin.
There we go.
We'll see what happens with that. Kirby G is here. Kirby G has an awesome channel as well. He's also on the path to I think monetization if he's not out there already. So we're working on that. Happy Tom, thanks so much for being here. Happy Tom, love that you're here. Stinky Monkey BB, I love that name. That's amazing. No stinky redemptions allowed here. Well,
hopefully my redemption wasn't considered stinky. So
yeah. Well, I mean, it sounds like you're probably going to enjoy your time in Mexico City. So that's always great. Okay. Kirby's asking if you work with Parker Hannifin brakes.
Yes, actually,
Okay.
yeah. The brakes that are on the plane that we're doing a 600 flight hour inspection on right now are Parker Hannifin brakes. We're actually having
Wow.
problems getting them. They're hard to get. Um, remand ones are, I think, 3 months out. So the plane would have to be grounded for 3 months
Oh, wow.
while they're getting remanufactured, and that cost about $17,000 for one side's brakes to get redone. So
That's
yeah,
crazy.
the plane right now. If any of y'all in chat have like flight aware or anything, the N number is N543 Julia Bravo. That's if you want to go look at the plane and look what it looks like. But yeah, that one
Okay.
has Parker Hannifin brakes on it right now.
Wow. That's amazing. All right. Some inside baseball in the industry.
Yeah,
That's
some
amazing.
inside baseball with what's going on over there.
That's amazing. All right, so Calderts, in my opinion, if you're getting greater than 1 cent per point, I think it's perfectly fine redemption. Now companies are making less than 1 cent per point more and more normal. So he
Yeah.
has an interesting point there. What do you? How would you? How? What is your reaction? Sorry.
I totally agree. I really do. I mean, I think it's it's starting to be pushed that it's okay, and it is, especially if it works for you and your situation. It's okay to get whatever cent per point value that you get. I mean, I honestly, it's not the end all be all cent per point value. As long as you get the
Right.
travel you want with the points that you have, wipe your hands of it. It's a good day.
Yeah.
But I think
There you
that
go.
yes, it is being pushed more and more often that you should, hey, you're pretty close to 1 cent per point. That's good. It's being pushed more and more often. So
Yeah.
getting 1 cent per point or higher, especially higher than 1 cent per point, that's a good deal.
Absolutely.
That's
Yeah.
good booking.
Yeah, and especially if you because you were thinking about you got I think it was over just over half a cent a point per Hilton point. And so the American Express points that you transferred over, I think it was like 1 to 2.5 ish or something like that, which means
Yeah.
you're definitely over that 1 cent per point, right? For the
Mm-hmm.
American Express. So that's solid.
Yep.
I recently got an email. I think I did a video about it, talking about like American Express was like, "Yo, oh, you should stock up on your gift cards for the year with all your points." And I was like, let's not do that.
Yeah, I remember that video. I remember commenting. I was like, "Yeah, I've gotten the same emails," and
Yeah,
I mean, it's taking advantage of people who don't really know
right.
what to do with their points. It's kind of a scapegoat for them. Was like, okay, let's make sure these people who don't really know what to do with their points don't have them in their account long enough to figure out what they can do with
Right.
their points and get them to
Yeah.
redeem them now so that they don't have them for down the line when they gain more knowledge and can actually utilize them.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that's kind of a difference kind of between cashback and points. So my in-laws, they have used a Discover It Chrome for most of their purchases for years and years and years. And
Yeah.
at the end of the year, they would use all their rewards, they'd save them up, and they just buy us all gift cards to like, Darden and like, the whole 9 yards.
Hmm.
And and that was that was solid, but I was like, hey, like if you guys want to do any traveling, you could probably switch out to miles and stuff. And what they've kind of experienced is like they were used to being able to buy the gift cards, and they're like, oh, well, why can't if we use our venture miles, they don't go as far as the rewards we had with Discover, because that's what they wanted to use it for. And so that's also kind of a reason, like if you do want to be the gift card people, cashback probably got to be a little bit better
Oh
than
yeah.
points. But yeah, great point, Calders. Thanks so much for being here. Juan Garcia is in the house. Thanks so much for being here. Really appreciate you. We have a lot of people here. Nurikin, how's it going, everyone? Thanks so much for being here. And then James back. Yeah, Hilton, let's go. Yeah, so it seems like you have kind of a strong preference for Hilton, and we kind of
Yeah.
went into why, like
Yeah.
you kind of grew up into the system, but
Yeah.
you also kind of addressed the fact that you weren't really picking a hotel that didn't work for you because it was Hilton. Like it was like you wanted Hilton, but also like the location worked for you, the type of hotel kind of worked for you, and so it didn't seem like you were giving up anything by choosing Hilton.
No, not at all. The hotel that we got is about 2.5 blocks from where everything's happening.
That's
So
amazing.
it's
Okay.
so it's like
Yeah,
awesome. It's really good.
that is great. Okay. Awesome. We have Shina Grace is here. Thanks so
That's
much for
the
being here.
Shayna. That's my mom.
Okay, great. Awesome.
Yeah, that's
Great job,
Shayna.
Shane. That's amazing. All right. So James 50,000. Yeah, let's go. That's amazing. Yeah. That
Yeah,
sign up bonus for that Barclays card. And honestly, hat tip to you. Barclays will not give me a credit card. So they gave you something.
yeah.
So
I have two Barclays cards now, which yeah, like I've
nice.
heard they're extremely inquiry sensitive, and I'm Mr.
Hmm.
Inquiry when it comes to
Yeah.
inquiry. So yeah, I'm surprised that they gave me that card as well.
Yeah, I definitely have talked to some people in this space and kind of some newbies that are like they're a little inquiry shy in that they're like, oh, like if I apply for a card and I don't get it, right? They view that as like looking bad on their credit report, looking bad to other banks. What do you think about that? Are you do you care if you have inquiries?
Not really. I know that certain banks are inquiry sensitive, and in that case, I do care. But in the
Yeah.
sense of this time next month, that inquiry won't really matter because my credit score will likely be at least back up to where it was, if not a few points higher after that inquiry. So if you care about the banks and the cards that you can get based on how many inquiries you have, then yes, it does matter. But if it's just sort of like a back burner problem, there's nothing to really worry about.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, that's a great point. Thank you. James saying that's why I like Philip. You got the cool guests, young and old. Yeah, we're very fortunate to have a very kind of elite guest list so far over here at Points of Philip. So we're really
that's
happy about that.
that's what I've noticed about this community is that it's you have such a age range
That's
and
true.
so
Yeah.
much um um what is it when you all live in like harmony, I
Oh
guess,
yeah.
among everybody. Like we can all get along and understand even though there's such an age gap,
Hmm.
within the community, even and still everyone gets along. That's one thing that I have noticed. The age range and then how everyone still manages to, get along with each
Yeah.
other.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. That's a great point. Yeah, we all get along great, and one of the
Oh
things I love
yeah.
about YouTube is that you doing well doesn't mean that I don't get to do well, right? We can both do
Exactly.
well, which is great, and so like there's no real reason to not work together, to not have a good relationship, and like the thing that I love about like talking to a bunch of these creators is that like if they make a video, I can take an idea from that and then kind of analyze it on my own and do a video that I couldn't have done had they not done that video. But I'm still trying to find a way to make it my own, make it interesting, And so it's definitely there's definitely a lot of great ways to make it work. I love
Oh,
the community.
absolutely. That's I totally agree. That's how a lot of the times, not a lot of the times, but a vast majority of the times that I get either inspiration of what to do a video on or how to sort of structure a video is sort of based on
Hmm.
what other people are doing and what I see, works for them and is what it's effective to actually get the knowledge across.
Right.
So
Absolutely.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Packaging matters. Don Kim was asking force per area. Where I think we're definitely a couple minutes late to or behind on the schedule, so I'm not sure what that question was about. Let's see. Matt Darling, TK Lounge in Miami is nice, but not accessible airside from AA terminal. Oh yeah, that's
Man,
that's a problem.
that's unfortunate. I had the same problem in JFK. JFK, there's no
Yeah.
like airside. We were in I can't remember what terminal, but it wasn't the terminal that the Capital One Lounge was in. And we were there 3 hours early. Huge disappointment. I'm so upset
Mhm.
I didn't do
Yeah.
that research beforehand.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, we weren't able to get into the Capital One Lounge at JFK, and we had to just sit in the terminal and go get pretty pretty bad coffee from. It ended up. I like Dunkin'. Dunkin' Donuts is my go-to for coffee, but the coffee in the JFK Airport Dunkin' was
Mhm.
horrible. It was bad
Oh
that day.
no, that's terrible. Oh man. Yeah, no, there's nothing worse than bad coffee, honestly,
I know,
especially.
especially when it's pretty much the only thing keeping your spirits up, especially because that's what it was
Yeah.
for us then. It
Yeah,
just made it
right.
worse.
Yeah. This is the consolation
Uh,
prize. I couldn't get it in my lounge. So, yeah.
exactly.
That's amazing. I love that. All right. Let's see. I think Pujol and Taqueria Sin Nombre are great eateries in Mexico City. Okay,
Noted.
great.
Noted.
Awesome. Wobbly bridge. Yeah.
That's
I
what it feels like. It really
I
does
love
feel
that
like the
analogy.
bottom just falls out from under you when you're in that like transition
Mhm.
stage between starting and finishing. That's
Yeah,
exactly
because
what
there's
it
so
feels
many
like.
things that could go wrong, and it just like if one of them goes wrong in the wrong way, then you're just kind of like, okay, what do I do now?
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah. Calder's had an interesting point though. Anthony Venture said that some airlines, like Emirates, will actually let you hold the booking while transferring the points.
I've
So
heard that. Yeah.
yeah, so pretty much what I've done, and most of my major bookings have followed this kind of trend. I identify something either through a search portal or just like my own search. And then what I do is like I try to find that exact same flight when I'm logged into the target airline that I'm trying to logged in, like actually make it. And so I'll leave that on my screen. That way, like it's in my cart kind of thing. And then I
Yeah.
make that transfer. And 9 times out of 10, it works. Sometimes you have to hit refresh. But that's kind of how I've been able to be successful so far. But
Hmm.
and you, it's a good way to sniff out like fake redemption space,
Yeah.
like so that's always good.
That's exactly what
Um,
I did with the American Airlines flights. Is I
nice.
held it in the cart. I held it in my cart in a different tab just to make sure
Yeah.
that it was there. And when I went to continue to when it actually like select how you want to like use it or like from selecting the return flight, I hit
Uh-huh.
continue. My miles showed up and the flights were still there. I didn't have to like refresh or do any like extra step like that. So yeah, keeping it like in the cart and like in the middle of a booking. Yeah, absolutely.
That's amazing. Yeah. Yeah, no, that's great. But yeah, Emirates is amazing like that. Although they're becoming a little less amazing with some of their changes that they've made. And then Shayna said, "Eek, way more costly than my car." Yeah,
Yeah, I
I
mean,
guess. Yeah.
pretty much everything is cost about a car. I mean, there was
Yeah.
the clock for the co-pilot seat, the actual because they have a battery on the backside to keep up the time when the
Oh
airplane's
yeah.
off.
Okay.
The positive terminal broke, and there's no way to fix it, so you have to order a new one. 2 grand,
Just a
two
clock.
grand for a new clock.
Oh man,
I
that is
know it's
crazy.
crazy.
Yeah. That's amazing. Kirby says, I worked at our braking system division in both Akron and Danville for a while. Our margins on brakes are crazy. I work at
I
Parker.
I don't doubt it.
Yeah,
I don't doubt it at all that the margins are crazy. The margins are crazy on everything. I
I can
remember
imagine.
I remember my boss was telling me the story about how he used to be able to go buy wheel bearings from auto parts stores, and they were
Okay.
$15 for the wheel bearings. And then restrictions got tighter, and you had to start buying FAA approved
Yeah.
and like trackable bearings 10 times, 20 times the price that they were
Wow.
for the bearings. It became ridiculous, but it's the
That's crazy.
tracking, it's the knowing that it's a good part. It's all
Right.
that's baked into the price. But yeah,
Yeah.
the the making of the part doesn't change, or at least doesn't change a lot.
Right.
So the margins on those parts, I don't doubt that the margins are insane on those brakes. Because I remember there was the reman version, which was 17 grand, and then a
Uh-huh.
brand new set, $90,000.
Wow.
Brand new set was $90,000.
That's insane.
It
And
is
of course, like you don't want to make if you're buying these things, right? You don't want to be the person who goes for the cheaper thing, and then that's the thing that makes something bad happen. So like
exactly,
I kind of get that. Yeah,
exactly. And
yeah,
that was exactly the motivation for making everything have to have, the FAA stamp
right.
of approval on it was exactly that. People buying, not good parts and, someone's wheel falls off on a takeoff and you crash let's just say a $300,000 plane. That's
Yeah,
big money off of a part that, you saved $5 on.
yeah,
So yeah, that's exactly why those regulations are in place now.
yeah. And I can imagine brakes being important to planes a little bit. So
Hmm. Absolutely.
yeah, awesome. Corky's here. Thanks so much for being here. Appreciate you. Matt Flashner is here as well. Thanks so much for being here. Appreciate you being here. US Bank is inquiry sensitive as well. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
US Bank and Barclays are the ones that just absolutely will not give me a card. Well, okay, so I do have the Fidelity card, which is an Elon bank, and they're a subsidiary of US Bank. So
Hmm.
I kind of got in that way. But no, yeah,
Yeah. U.S. Bank doesn't like me either. They don't like Mr. Inquiry either. Man. It's rough. They won't show me the time of day at all.
No, yeah. Yeah, which is like everyone's like, "Oh, you know, US Bank this, US Bank that." And I'm just like, "That's cool. And enjoy, you know."
Yeah, exactly.
Corky has an interesting point here. I think as partnerships keep getting devalued, I think bank travel portals may become the only 1 cent per point redemption road in the future. Interesting. Okay. So I was thinking about that, and like they're not wrong, right? Because if you do American Express, if you're doing at least hotels, you can kind of guarantee 1 cent per point. You know, Chase is doing their whole boost craziness,
Yeah.
and then Capital One makes it easy, pretty much too. So yeah, that's a fair point. That's a fair
I
point.
I actually really like Capital One's travel portal.
Interesting. Okay.
If there wasn't other redemption if there wasn't more value to be had from redeeming points otherwise, I'd use Capital One's travel portal all day, every day.
Okay.
Especially with the like multipliers on the Venture X or the Saver
Yeah.
card that you get when you go through the portal and book stuff. I'd use it all day. But because there's so much better value to be had when you transfer out to partners,
Right.
I can't justify it taking an hour less of my time and missing out on like hundreds of dollars of value. But
Yeah.
if, like he said, down the line, it's the only way to, get 1 cent per point in value, I won't complain about, having to use a portal, especially if it's Capital One's portal. I love it. It's so easy to
Yeah.
use.
Yeah, like, and here's the thing, like I've done a lot of bad redemptions, and not like I've cashed out Amex points with, because I have a business platinum card and a business checking account, which means I can check it out at 1 cent per point, and I have done that for, I think, the light, my key light, I did,
Mm-hmm.
and you know, that at the time, like, it was great because I was just like, I was using my channel to fund my channel kind of thing, but like, when you think about like how much I took out, I was like, that could have been a premium economy seat on, you know, to Europe. You know,
Right.
it's like it's there's definitely good reasons for doing it, but it's like it still kind of turns my stomach a little bit when I'm like, I was an idiot, you know.
Yeah, it's the opportunity cost. I mean, but
Yeah,
as long as you're getting value, you, I don't know how long what was it called, the key light or
yeah, the key
the
light,
like.
yeah,
I don't know how long they last, but I'm sure you'll get years of use out of it, and that
yeah,
value that you'll get from it is years long. So I mean,
hmm,
especially as long as you're getting value from it and it's useful to you, points can be redeemed however you please. Honestly, I mean that's
that's
something
true.
I firmly believe in. Is like
Yeah,
as long as it works for you and you're satisfied. Yes, there's always opportunity cost, but that's with everything. That's with buying the 32 count eggs at the stores as opposed to the normal dozen. There's
right,
opportunity costs in that. I missed out on 5 cents an egg, but I mean, I won't use 32 eggs
right,
for a
yeah.
month. So yeah, as long as you can get value out of it, I don't really see the harm.
There you go. Awesome. All right. Matt Flashner is saying, coolest thing about this community, it's not competition. The success of one person doesn't feel like you yourself got second or last. Everyone's race is different, but we can all learn from each other. Absolutely, yeah. You know, it just, and the thing I love is that we're all making our own redemptions. Like, I have never flown to Mexico, but
Mhm.
I can say I know kind of how to make that happen, at least if I'm flying from Atlanta, because like we're having this conversation, right? And
Yeah,
so, you know, yeah, that's amazing.
I couldn't agree more. It's honestly it's mind blowing the harmony that, like I said, there's no competition. It's everyone helping each other up. One person gets one ladder rung higher, they put their hand out to help everyone else up.
That's
It,
it.
it's
Yeah,
it's sort of that way, and yeah, that's what I love about
absolutely.
it.
Yeah. And so I guess this is just as good a time as any. So if you'll notice in the description below, there's an at link for at Tyler's, what's your Tyler's credit card tips. So there's a link to there in the description. Go ahead and click on that link. Make sure you subscribe. We're trying to get him as close to 1,000 as possible. We definitely want to get him over 100 though. Hopefully
Appreciate
today.
that.
You might actually be over 100 already. So we'll
I'm
have to
not
see
sure.
that.
Let me check real quick.
But yeah, go ahead and make sure that we get him over because he's doing some great work. He's been doing it for what, like 6 months, I think.
Hold on. I think June was the first video that I posted. Was the intro video where I introduced myself and
Okay,
basically gave the summary of why I was starting. But yeah, about 6 months now. Yeah.
nice. All right, so it's showing on my end that you're at 97. So we need to get those numbers up. So come on, people, let's go. Go over
Mr. Matt just subscribed, so it's 98 now.
Okay, great. Awesome. So we
Yeah,
got
we're getting
98.
up
There
there.
we go.
I appreciate everybody. This has been honestly surreal.
Yeah.
When I started it, I really had not no ambition, but no entitlement to do good. I didn't really have that mindset where I was like, I have to do good, or
Right.
I wasn't 100% sure that I would. So the fact that there's been any sort of traction at all is just mind blowing, and I couldn't be more thankful for everyone who's reached out and wished me good luck. You know, made even greater steps. You having me on this stream, it's all been just a dream come true, honestly. And I'm really grateful for it.
Yeah.
So
And this has
thank
been
you,
a
everybody.
wonderful conversation. Really, I've been learning a lot. So thanks so much for being here.
Yeah, no problem at all. Really happy to be
Uh,
here.
yeah. And actually, you know what? Let me go ahead and share my screen so I can
There's
show
100.
everybody. Yeah. Yeah. All right. There we go. Thank goodness, everybody. You guys are awesome. So yeah. So
Thank
we're
you,
just
guys.
there's Tyler's channel here. So you have so yeah. If we do your oldest, so yeah, 5 months ago, according to this. And then your most popular one here, I guess we're going to have to talk about this one here in a little bit once we get caught up with the chat, because you have one video that's doing, pretty well. So
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
we'll have
That was
to.
that's my best video. It consistently gets views pretty much every day, about 10 a day.
Wow.
So
Okay.
that's actually, I'm really happy with how that video turned out. It's pretty much is what I compare all of my other videos to and how they're doing.
Nice. Okay. I love that. And that's one of the great things about having a back catalog. Once you build that up, is like you can not post anything, and you'll still get like enough to actually make a meaningful difference, over time. So that's good.
Yeah,
Uh,
I'm still working on building up that back catalog. I pretty much I guess I'm living paycheck to paycheck in terms of making videos. I make a video, I post it. I make a video, I post it.
yeah.
I don't say I have the time. I just haven't become efficient enough at making them to actually build up an arsenal of videos that I can post
Yeah.
just at leisure.
Yeah. I have some time where, I have some time where like some weeks I'm really good. Like I have 3 videos that are actually scheduled out in YouTube, and like they have like drop dates and everything. And they'll have some weeks where I'm just like, I was doing something, for myself over the weekend, and I'm just like, okay, I've got to do something because I don't have a video for Wednesday, or something
Yeah.
like that. So, yeah,
Hmm.
it's definitely hard to get into that kind of rhythm, but that's the kind of a time thing anyway, too.
Yeah.
All right, we have Nickel. I'm a boomer who's brand new to credit cards, points, and miles, and I have no qualms learning from much younger experts. It's the stage, not the age. That's amazing.
Absolutely. That's poetry
Welcome to the
right
community,
there.
Nickel. Yeah. Yeah, we all love points and miles over here. And one thing that I do want to notice or discuss while everyone's here too, if you are someone who is kind of trying to figure out points and miles, and you're trying to figure out where you want to go next, I do offer credit card consultations or even travel consultations. We actually try to make you or help you actually make those redemptions possible. But anyway, there's a link in the description below if you want to schedule those. We definitely will kind of work with you and kind of figure out where you need to be and kind of have kind of more of a personal touch. But now that that's out of the way, let's get back into the actual video. So let's take a look at James. Yeah, brakes.
Yeah.
Yep. James, Barclays canceled me a long time ago. US Bank, I have 2 accounts. Okay. Yeah, Barclays, it's weird because they have a lot of really cool travel cards, but
They do. They really do.
it's yeah, but they're not a fan of me. Calder's US Bank secured cash plus is one. Oh, okay. I did actually apply for a secured US Bank card just because I was like, oh, and they didn't give me that either. So
Wow. Was this recently, or was this like
maybe like 2 or 3 months ago.
okay? Were you just seeing like what they would or wouldn't give you in that
Pretty
sense?
much, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
Let's see, Matt Darling. Barclays also seems to enforce 624. At least they did for me. Once I got down to 524, I was approved for the Frontier card. Okay. That's actually pretty cool.
Love the Frontier card.
Yeah.
Oh,
All right.
yeah.
So let's actually use this to let's go ahead and use this to actually talk about the Frontier card. So you did a couple of videos actually about
Yeah.
the Frontier Airlines card. What do you like about it? Why do you talk about it?
I just so from my perspective as someone who's young, and when I've like wanted to start traveling, I was still in school. So I was still in school for aviation. I had a part-time job. Money was not coming in any sort of substantial amount, but I still wanted to travel. And so the question came of how? How, with not having a lot of money, am I going to be able to travel? And that's sort of how I got into points and miles and all this sort of stuff to even begin with, is sort of being able to get that travel I wanted without having to spend the cash I didn't have.
Oh yeah.
Um, and so the reason I like the Frontier Airlines card so much is because it's associated with an airline that fit my budget. My
Nice.
budget
Okay.
was as cheap as possible, honestly, to be
Yeah.
100% honest with you. So the flights that, $29 um, one way, they made all the sense for me. And it was me and my girlfriend at the time. So, it was me and her. So it was two people. So I had to kind of account for that, making it a little bit more strapped for cash on my end. But that card made flying with a budget airline so much easier, so much easier. And I still have it, obviously, because I do still fly Frontier. The last
Nice.
flight that I flew, yeah, the last flight that I flew was with Frontier. We took a trip to Salem, Massachusetts, for Halloween,
Okay.
which was really fun. I don't know if you know anything about like the Salem witch trials or anything like
Yeah.
that, but Halloween means a lot to my girlfriend, and now it means a lot to me. So we wanted to
Yeah.
take a trip to Salem to be in a very Halloween based town, and we flew
Cool.
Frontier. And
That's
with
awesome.
that card, I like to say that if this card was attached to any other airline, people would be clawing tooth and nail for it. It
Hmm.
has so
Yeah.
many good benefits. It has, to start off, the biggest benefit of it is the 2 free check bags. You get 2 free check bags, and with
That is pretty
Frontier,
big.
yeah, and with Frontier, they cost so much more because it's a budget airline. They're going to nickel and dime you for everything. I think
Right.
with Delta, the first check bag is $35. The first check bag with Frontier is 65.
Oh wow. Yeah.
There you go. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So yeah, we got the actual page up now. But yeah, the welcome bonus is also extremely easy to get. $500 to spend in the first 90 days, you get 50,000 Frontier points.
Wow.
Easy
That
as
is
pie.
amazing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
easy as pie. You can get that, no problems at all.
Oh, and they have
No
a free
problems at all.
pre-qualification page too.
That's new. That
Okay.
pre-qualification is new. They only added that recently. I had to just kind of blindly apply for it, see if I got it. But given that it was,
Yeah.
I guess, a budget airline card, I got approved for it fairly easily. Um,
Yeah.
and
So this is
then,
actually kind of
yeah.
insane. Now, I have no idea what a Frontier point is worth or what the expected value is, right? But
Um,
15x on eligible Frontier purchases, I'm presuming that has something to do with like if you have status with them or something like that, can change that. But 3x on an airline card on restaurants is kind of unheard of.
Yeah, that's huge. And that's, for a while when we were flying with Frontier a lot, like we were doing like trips every 2 months.
Uh huh.
This past year, it was my dining card to earn points.
Yeah.
And so that 3x on restaurants is no joke. Um,
Yeah. That's pretty
I ended
amazing.
up being able to book a flight from Atlanta to um, JFK with the amount of points that I had built up just using it as my dining card.
Wow. That's pretty intense. That's
So
amazing. So
yeah, it's
this
no
is
joke
actually
at
pretty
all.
interesting too. It says unlock free companion travel at elite platinum status. Reach elite status faster by earning one elite status point for every $1 spent on your Frontier card. Government fees apply, and if you get that status, then it gives you kind of more things like free seat upgrades and stuff like that. Were you able to earn status with this card?
So I was not. The welcome bonus
Okay.
at the time did not include this. It was 60,000 points that came as um 20,000 points after you spend after you pay the annual fee and
Hmm.
then make a purchase on it, and then the additional 40,000 came after you spent 500. So that was the welcome bonus that came with the card when I got it. It had none of the extra like status earnings. So they've really stepped it up recently with trying to get
Nice.
people to apply for this card, and I think it's awesome. I
Yeah.
saw a link where they were offering half off their discount den membership, which is basically a annual subscription, and you'll get discounted rates on flights,
Wow.
which
Okay.
is it's worth its weight in gold, honestly.
Yeah.
I think I've saved almost $200 so far with it, and I can't remember exactly how much it cost for the actual status. I think it's maybe $100,
Oh,
but I've
wow.
already
Okay.
covered that and then saved an additional $100 with it. So it's worth its weight in gold,
Yeah. Interesting here
honestly.
too that it comes with a low introductory APR on balance transfers. So this one actually is interesting because it's for 15 months on balance transfers made within 45 days of account opening. The only thing that I kind of am concerned about with these, and this is just in general, like my understanding of balance transfers, is that the problem with doing a balance transfer on a card that actually gives you a sign up bonus is, you know, it, it basically balance transfers can, at least in certain banks, put your account in an interest bearing state for regular purchases. And so, you might actually end up paying a little bit more on interest if you actually make purchases on it towards a sign up bonus. But that is actually really helpful. So you can actually get some of these benefits while also kind of working towards a better kind of financial goal, which is kind of cool too.
Actually, I actually didn't know that. I don't really have a lot of knowledge about balance transfers. Luckily, I haven't had to like really do any of that, so I don't really have much
Nice.
knowledge about that. So I didn't know that. It's good to know.
Yeah. Yeah, you have to get lost in the terms and conditions because I did a couple. I've done balance transfers with Citi, USAA, and a couple with Discover. And so, yeah, like basically, you have to make sure that you have 0% APR on purchases and balance transfers in order to not pay any interest, which I kind of found out, and I was like, oh, that was frustrating, but we fixed it.
Hmm.
But yeah, no, this does look like a really really awesome card. We do have some audience reactions. So let's see, Matt Darling here. Frontier card is goated. Pair it with the Go Wild Pass and you have the ultimate travel cheat code, especially if you live in a hub city like Denver or Atlanta. Wow.
Yep.
Okay.
So yeah, Atlanta is Frontier's biggest satellite hub.
Oh,
So
okay.
Denver is their main hub, but then
Gotcha.
Atlanta is where they have like their second biggest base of operation. I think they have about 3% of all air traffic coming in and out of Atlanta. I think it goes Delta, Southwest, Frontier, Spirit, and then all other airlines.
Okay.
So yeah,
That's amazing. Yeah.
and then the Go Wild Pass is also, yeah, it's a cheat code for sure. It's basically, you pay an annual fee and you can get basically free travel up to 10 days out from the flight. You can find flights. I haven't looked too much into it, honestly, but
Hmm.
he's absolutely right. From what I've seen, you have these two. I mean, you can get so many cheap trips. It's not even funny.
That's amazing. So, and of course, we got to ask the big question here, and that's going to be, how is Frontier? What has been your experience?
Frontier. Okay, so if I had to put it into like a funny little phrase or like a short sentence, it's the Greyhound of the sky, honestly.
Okay.
So the floor plans for their planes are to get the maximum amount of people actually through it while still having some sort of class system. So they have like 3 rows of upfront like big seats, which are like probably what many would consider probably like a premium economy seat. So they're padded, they recline, they have bigger armrests as well. So they have like 3 rows of those up front, and then from there back, 3 by 3 configuration,
Oh, wow.
and it's probably about an office chair, width. It's definitely the Greyhound of the sky. And on longer haul flights, like we took a trip from Atlanta to San Diego with the layover in Denver. That Atlanta to Denver flight, that was rough.
Yeah.
It was sort of it was definitely uncomfortable and monotonous because with an airline like Frontier, you don't have any in headrest entertainment. Um, Nothing besides water is free. They're
Oh,
gonna
okay.
nickel and dime you for drinks. They
Yeah.
will. it's just the fact of life when you're on an airline like that. And
Right.
I guess the biggest thing I could suggest is just to get it before you leave, because it'll be more or the same, if not more, in the terminal as it will be in the sky
Oh
on
yeah.
the flight.
Okay.
So just get it
That's good to
beforehand.
know.
But if I had to describe it um, in a simple sentence, it's just the Greyhound of the sky. You get what you pay for. You're paying $29 to go from Atlanta to Denver. It's going to feel like you
Yeah.
paid $29. But
That's fair.
that
Yeah.
getting the card at least makes it a little bit more I guess bearable, in the sense of knowing that you're only really paying that $29 because you're not having to pay for your bags. You can only have a personal item with Frontier. Any checked
Oh
bag
yeah.
cost extra unless you buy like some of their like upgraded seat bundles. That's
Gotcha.
when they start including carry-ons, but then you're basically paying for the carry-on anyway.
Right.
But yeah, it's a budget airline.
Yeah.
Is
That
It's
makes sense.
exactly
Yeah.
what you think it would be like.
Nice. Okay. Sweet. Thanks so much for answering that question. I do want to say, Dim is here. Thanks so much for being here, Dim. He's saying it looks like Key's background with a McLaren flag. Yeah.
Yeah, McLaren flag right here. I'm a McLaren fan, F1 sort of fan. Um, but yeah, I don't know if you follow F1 or not. They won the constructors championship this year, and then one of their drivers won the drivers championship um, this year as well. So yeah, they're doing good. But regulations change next year, so it'll shuffle the order a little bit. Looks like a Capital One flag. Oh yeah, big
Yeah.
Capital One fan over here.
Yeah.
Big
Right.
Capital One fan.
Nice. Tom says, thank you. Well noted.
Yep,
Dim says, I do follow F1. They had a great year.
they did.
Yeah, that's
They did
awesome.
have a great year. They won the constructors championship like well before the season was over.
That's awesome. That's awesome. All right. So now that we've kind of talked about the Frontier card, which I definitely want to make sure I did, let's go ahead and let's get into your. You did a recent video where you discussed kind of your plan for 2026, and it had some really interesting cards on it. So can you walk us through kind of where you're going to be looking for in 2026?
Yeah, absolutely. So 2026, basically based on everything that happened this past year, with language becoming stricter with welcome bonuses and whatnot, and it being just harder to turn in general.
Yeah.
I think that this coming year will be all about how much you can earn with your spend. Honestly, I
Mm,
just think that's how it'll go. I think that's how a constant, stream of points will come in. I know a lot of
yeah.
people would probably instead do like multiple welcome bonuses back to back, and that's how they kept their points coming in steady. I think this coming
Yeah.
year will be all about how you earn them on your spend, and
Okay.
ultimately getting a card that earns you really high multipliers on your spend is where it'll be for this coming
Nice.
year.
All right. So yeah, so I guess that kind of answers kind of the big central question, right? So a lot of people like to
Yeah,
kind of debate whether or not multipliers matter. And so it seems like you're definitely going to be focusing big on multipliers next year.
absolutely. I think
Nice.
that they've definitely always, in my eyes, they've always mattered. I mean, at the end of the day, it's a credit card and it's a tool that can be used, to turn its welcome bonus, but also you use it every day. I mean, the credit isn't just for credit cards in general. I mean, when it comes time for people to buy houses or buy cars, that higher credit score when it comes to actually um, getting your lower interest rates really does matter. And it's not just about getting the points, it's about setting up your life for success. So
Yeah.
I really do think that at the end of the day, having good multipliers does matter, because you're gonna want to spend on those cards to boost your actual credit score, credit profile, so you can get the better things in life.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, I love that. Okay, cool. I did want to make sure that we talked a little bit. So Sleepy Rod, sorry I'm late. Thanks so much for being here. Appreciate you. I just wanted to follow up. Do you think the Frontier Go Wild Pass is worth it? Been considering it. So what do you think? Would you go wild?
I was about a frog's hair close to getting the pass, honestly. It's a pretty steep annual fee. I think it's like $500 or $400 a year.
Okay.
But I mean, if you can really take advantage of it and you travel and you plan travel like that in the sense of by the seat of your pants and just kind of can go off on a whim like 10 days out, like, yep, we're going here, doing this, take full advantage of it, it is 100% worth it.
Wow.
100%.
Okay. I gotta say, like, so I remember, so when Southwest did their beginning kind of implosion, they Frontier did a position where they would, if you had any kind of Southwest like relationship, so if you had a Rapid Rewards account, they gave you Frontier status. I forgot what the actual one was. I think it was maybe the gold one or whatever.
I think
And
it was
so
gold.
yeah, and so I did that, which was actually at the time, which was wild because Southwest had a status match for Frontier Gold to A list, and
Hmm.
then I was able to get A list, and then from there I was actually able to get Mosaic 2 with JetBlue that I was able to make for redemption. So yeah, so just
Wow.
this one little thing, I had to pay $40 for the processing fee with Frontier,
Hmm.
but you know that definitely made it worthwhile to me. So
Wow, that's
um,
awesome. That
yeah,
is insane.
yeah.
That's actually really cool. I never even like I knew that they would match, but I never even thought about, just like using each airline to step one step higher with others. That's actually pretty cool.
Yeah,
I never
I
even
heard
thought
about
about it
that through
like
the
that.
frequent miler, and I was like, I've got to do this. So,
Yeah, that's really
yeah,
cool.
that's awesome. Sleepy Rod saying right now the Go Wild Pass is on special for 300. So, are
Absolutely
we
worth it then.
all
Absolutely
right?
worth it.
Yeah,
I
and
mean,
of course we got to say
when some flights even cost 300 a piece,
that's
that Go
true.
Wild Pass worth it in a heartbeat.
Yeah, Chad's 20 minutes is here. Thanks so much for being here, Chad.
What's
Appreciate
up,
you.
man?
Yeah, we love his stuff. He's been actually
Oh
very
yeah.
prolific this week with his perspectives. So that's been they've been all really great. Let's see. Corky, I'm on the side of earning over welcome offers, but that's just because I like simplicity. But I understand how the welcome offer game can be great for fast points earning. Yeah, that's true.
Yep.
I will say, so I opened up 25 cards officially this year, and it is kind of exhausting to have that many sign up bonuses.
Yeah, I mean, just to
Yeah,
keep track of all of that, I think would just
yeah,
like give me a headache just thinking about it, honestly.
yeah. I definitely couldn't have done it without max rewards, and so I think there's a link in the description below if you're interested in it. But you know, you don't have to. But max rewards helped me kind of keep track of everything, so that was nice.
Hmm.
But yeah, no, simplicity is going to be kind of define my year for next year too, just because I've got some closing cards to do.
Yeah.
Matt Darling, they do promos on the Go Wild Pass. It was $249 over Labor Day, I think. Value prop goes down a lot if you don't live near a hub. Yeah, no, that's
Yeah,
true.
that's
Yeah,
very true. If you're not near a hub, if you live near a hub, or if you can hop one airport over to a hub, it could be worth it. But luckily, it makes a lot of sense for me because I live in Atlanta. It's sort of a big
yeah,
station for them, so they're gonna have a lot of flights in and out all the time. But
yeah,
yeah, if you don't live near a hub, it's hard to make it make sense. But if
yeah.
you do, worth it all day long, in my opinion.
Absolutely. And that's one of the things I love about living in Orlando is that like you'll find almost every single airline has at least one flight that lands here. And so like, you know, it's we have our pick. Like I can do Allegiant if I wanted, I could do Breeze, I could do
Hmm.
Frontier, I could do Spirit is big. Like, you know, pretty much all of them is nice. So yeah, where you live does matter quite a bit.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so let's get back into it. So your wallet, I think you had a couple cards that you were watching, kind of tracking, and the first one that I remember was the City Strata Premier. I think was that
Yep.
it there? Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
It was.
So why do you want the City Strata Premier?
Well, I think it plays a lot into where I think earning points is going. The multipliers on it. I mean, laundry list. Yep, there it is.
Yeah.
Laundry list. You can earn all day on it. I mean, it doesn't
Yeah.
really matter what you're spending on it. It probably earns 3x on it, whether you're spending for, travel, gas, groceries, dining. You're probably pulling out the Strata Premier to pay
Yeah.
for it, and you're getting 3x points in a points currency that has just like, in the eyes of a lot of people, just doubled its value. with
Yeah,
American Airlines becoming a transfer partner of Citi. I mean that completely changed the game for I'm assuming a decent chunk of people.
absolutely.
Um,
Yeah.
so yeah, that's pretty much my thoughts behind the Strata Premier. I honestly hate's a strong word, but I really dislike its $100 hotel
Oh yeah.
credit.
Yeah.
The fact that you have to spend $500 minimum to actually use it, and is
Hmm.
there a minimum night
I think
count
it's just
for it?
500.
Okay, so it's just 500. But the fact that you
Yeah.
have to spend $500 in the first place to get $100 off is just absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah.
And when you look at a card like the Wells Fargo autograph Journey that has that $50 just general airline um,
Right.
credit on it, it's night and day difference with how easy it is to use. So I definitely think
Absolutely.
that that it's perk or like annual credit to make up that annual fee just doesn't even really make sense for a vast majority of people. It's just there
Yeah.
to say it's there,
Yeah, I will
ultimately.
say I think I'm kind of the same. Like I don't ever intend on actually using the hotel card, but I still pay the annual fee. And kind of the reason why, because like if you actually take a look at the city ecosystem, you can do the go big version, right? You can get the
Hmm.
City Strata Elite, you can get the City Strata Premier, and you'll be fine in most cases.
Yeah.
But you can also do it kind of the just a regular normal person. So you can get the City Double Cash, you can get the City Strata Premier, and then you can get however many custom caches they'll give you.
Hmm.
And you have a really coherent setup that's very deliberate, but also has a maximum annual fee of $95. And that's like I feel like it's almost the go-to everyman setup that's easiest for most people to get value from now, because it's not even the American connection. It's one-to-one with JetBlue, which is going to be huge for a lot of people that live on the East Coast. It's
Oh yeah.
got the I Prefer at 1-to-4, which is just insane,
Yeah.
because like I Prefer, it's not a big program, right? In
Hmm.
Orlando, I think there's 12 hotels in that program, but the hotels are nice and the hotels are cheap points wise. So like we have so there's one local entrepreneur in Orlando called I forgot what his name was. It was literally just there, Rosen, Mr. Rosen. So
Hmm.
he actually developed he kind of adopted a community, Oak Ridge in Orlando, and
Yeah.
he guaranteed that he would pay for college for every single person who graduated from high school in that community, and
Hmm.
he's continued to do so. And he's like the Scott's tots, like he's the guy that was modeled after
Huh.
for The Office. And so he owns a series of hotels. They're really nice hotels, but they're not affiliated with any other chain except for I Prefer. And so you can
Right.
get a $500 $600 room for like 9,000 city points, and
That's
it's
that's
just yeah.
that's insane.
And so, like, the fact that you can get, $95 annual fee for an entire card setup, and then you have like hotels getting good value from, airfare getting good value from, it might actually beat out Chase in my mind for the easiest to get value from moving forward.
Yeah, especially now. I mean,
Yeah,
it used to be the city, or not the city, the Chase trifecta that everyone would recommend for simplicity,
right.
good starter setup. It's definitely the city setup now that I could easily recommend. And I guess if you're someone like you said, not necessarily the American Airlines affiliation, but the JetBlue, if you're someone who can get by with just JetBlue and
Hmm.
doesn't care at all about American Airlines, going for the no annual fee Strata card in
Yeah,
in place of the Strata Premier, I think that's also a great setup as well. I mean, because the Strata card is honestly pretty underrated, and had it had access to all their transfer partners,
right.
I think would also be another card that was in everybody's setup
Absolutely.
because
Yeah.
it's so customizable. You can choose. I think it's two custom categories at 3x.
I don't remember.
I think it was
But yeah, no, it does have kind of it does have a wild card where you can kind of pick your own adventure, which is, I just love that.
mhm,
Let me see if I can pull it up here. So
okay.
yeah, so 3x on select transit and at gas and EV charging, Supermarkets 3x. So 3x on uneligible self selects category. Okay, so one
One.
category,
Okay. I
but
thought it
they're
was two.
kind of wide. Yeah.
Yeah. But
So
yeah,
that's really
they are.
nice.
It's extremely like a wide selection. So I mean, if city points really matter a lot to you in terms of getting them to JetBlue, because
Right.
Capital One doesn't transfer directly to JetBlue at a 1-to-1 ratio, does it? I think it's like a 1 to 500. There's like a
Yes,
1
yeah.
to a
JetBlue for
5.
Capital One, it's actually the worst.
Yeah,
So yeah, American Express isn't 1-to-1 either.
I think
But
it's
it's a
like
little bit better
one.
than Capital
I
One,
think it's like 1 to 0.8. So like a
something like
thousand
that.
to
Yeah,
800, something like that. Yeah.
yeah,
But yeah, I think that's also for someone who really relies a lot on JetBlue. That's also a good way that you could do that setup. And had they made that little bit of change to access transfer partners, I think that that would be everyone's go-to setup for gardening points. Would
yeah.
be that city setup. So yeah,
Absolutely.
city's on the ups, and another one that I think is really on the ups as well. If they could follow a similar path to city is Wells Fargo.
Yes,
Wells
that's
Fargo has
true.
a ton of potential, and it's honestly better coming from nothing in that sense of like you have all the room to make all the right choices. I think that they could follow a very similar path to City because they have all their
Hmm.
workhorse cards, just like City
Right.
does.
Yeah.
And so I think that City's doing great things. The only thing I didn't like was the Strata Elite launch was kind of mediocre. It wasn't nearly as good as I thought it would be. The actual card itself with all the perks.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I think City's doing great things, and I think Wells Fargo could follow suit behind them and do great things as well.
Yeah, and I'm glad that you brought up Wells Fargo because they have so it is decently easy to get value from. You do have to work a little bit harder. So hotels they have choice at 1 to 2, which I think that's what
Mhm.
City has too, right? So that's
Um,
solid. But they have JetBlue at 1-to-1, which is really great. But they do have access to Virgin, Air France, and then they have the Avios program, Avianca, which is actually really good for some of these partner things. They also have Iberia.
mhm.
So like if you're interested in partner rewards, you do have exposure to Delta, you do have exposure to American, things like
Yeah,
that. You do
yeah.
have to work a little bit better at it.
Yeah, I'm working on a video right now about the whole alliance thing and how you can really take advantage of alliances in any bank currency is worth a lot of money if you just have that a little bit of knowledge of airline alliances.
Absolutely. Yeah, you can definitely do really well. So during that
Absolutely.
conversation, we definitely had some really great takes in the chat. So I want to make sure that we're actually kind of doing that. So James saying Strata for the big ballers. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
JP Knowledge is in here. Thanks so much for being here.
What's up,
Hey
man?
Philip, I bought the Go Wild pass for like 250, and I use it to travel across country for a funeral. Most funerals are short notice and tickets were expensive. That one flight paid for the wow. That's
Ex-
incredible, actually.
exactly. Like I said, the one flight being $300, you get the
Yeah,
Go Wild Pass pays for that flight, and now you have the Go Wild Pass for. They do it in weird increments. I think you can get an annual one, but then they have seasonal ones as well.
yeah.
But yeah, there you go. That's a perfect example.
I absolutely love this game because of this sort of thing. Like when you can find something to game this hard,
Yeah.
like it just makes it so worthwhile.
Oh
Like
yeah.
when you can find that sort of thing, it's just incredible. And I love that there will always continue to be those types of loopholes and those types of opportunities. And I love that about this game. Like it just feels so delicious when you can actually make that work. And of course it's not good for why you were traveling, JP. Sorry about that.
Yeah.
Um, but just the fact that that was a possibility, I love that. And thanks so much for sharing that. And condolences to the funeral situation. No, I'm sorry about that.
Absolutely.
Sleepy Rod, the goat, JP. That makes a lot of sense. Yeah. All right. So let's see. Here we go. Godfather. Very hard to justify paying the Strata Elite versus just paying the $95 for the Premiere. Strata Elite isn't justifiable for $595. What do you think about this?
I agree with him totally. There's not a lot of cases where I'd ever recommend the Strata Elite to anybody. And
Yeah.
I know what I say is sort of polarizing in the sense of like there's no like sort of well, it could work as like no, I mean not really, not for a lot of people. Um
Yeah.
unless you can really take advantage of the multipliers, especially I think okay, the one thing that I think is really cool about that card are like the I don't know what they call it, the City Nights
Yeah,
thing where you get elevated multipliers like during certain times for dining. I think that's
right.
pretty cool. I do think that
Yeah,
that's pretty cool because that is a lot of the times when I go out to eat is on a Friday or a Saturday.
right.
Um, so that would work for me. That's how I could see justifying it. But unless there's just not a lot of other, justification besides the welcome bonus in the first year where I can see that card working for a majority of people.
That
Like the
makes sense.
lounge, I mean, lounge access is it being worth it is a touchy subject, and not necessarily touchy. It just matters very differently to
Differently to
different
people. Yeah,
people.
that's true.
Um, and to me, it does because I mean, a lot of the times I have layovers everywhere,
Right.
every trip that I go, so it does sort of matter. And the 4 passes for a card that costs that much just isn't great. Very
Yeah.
disappointing in my eyes. But yeah, I don't think that it's very justifiable for very few people. There you go.
Yeah. And I think you've hit the nail on the head here because the City Strata Elite, it's very hard to find the one reason why you have to have it, right? With the Platinum card, you play the game because you want to be able to go into the Centurion Lounge, right?
Yep.
The Venture X, you play the game so they pay you $5 for the card. John Lang's spirit is with us.
Yeah.
Um, you get the Ritz Carlton card because it gets you unlimited lounge access in theory. Well, I mean, okay, so I know it's a little bit more limited now, but in theory, still unlimited because you still have 99 authorized users you can assign, and
Mhm.
and so there's a reason to have each of these high dollar cards.
Yeah.
With the City Strata Elite, there's some of the credits, but they're not getting you anything for that because if you're going to spend that much money for a city card for not that much more, you can just get the American Advantage executive card, and that gets you a full pass. So that means you can bring in your family, unlimited
Yep.
times, things like that. And so it's just like the 4 passes, the 4 day passes are just it does seem kind of like wow, this definitely could have been a little bit better.
I
And
I
I
I
definitely
totally
understand
agree.
American wanting to protect their lounge program because they do have one of kind of they're everywhere that American is, first of all, and they're never hard to get into, which is like
Yeah.
that's definitely something worth preserving. But
Mhm.
it kind of made this card a little bit less justifiable, in my opinion.
Yeah. And I'll sort of take it back. I do like some of the credits. The splurge credit
Yeah,
could make a lot of
absolutely.
sense for some people. I'd probably utilize it for Live Nation.
Yes.
Music's a big part of my life, me and my girlfriend's life. We love going to
Nice.
concerts. And so Live Nation actually buying tickets, that makes sense for me. That's another reason that I could see getting the card. But I mean, I forget exactly what it is, but I think that's only $120 out of that 595
Right.
annual fee. So I mean, still a long way to go after that. But again, I'll give it credit where credit's due. That is another way that I could see getting value from that card.
Absolutely, yeah. No, totally. But again, like all of the credits on the platinum card, the only reason you play the game is because you want the lounge access. Like the
Yep.
City Strata Elite, I don't like 4 lounge passes is enough for me to actually want to play the game. I guess
Hmm.
is my thing. But yeah, great point. Dim saying that City is the gardening goat for me. Nice.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Exactly. And the rewards master, we had him a couple months ago, and he was talking about how City is great for spending. He's right. The City custom cash is kind of an insane option. The City Strata Premier is really great. Things like that. Yeah. But yeah, Amex for the subs and the luxury perks. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's only one bank that I've earned 1 million points with so far this year. So
That's insane. I'm trying
yeah,
to get like you, man. That's awesome. That's such an achievement.
yeah. Just Amex has been very generous with the business cards for me. So
Yeah.
that's the only thing. But
That's the only problem with like business cards is hitting spend. That there's
yeah,
just no way for me in this point in my life that I could hit $15,000 in 3 months. There's just no way.
yeah.
So
Fortunately, I mean, not fortunately for us, but my wife kind of owns her own business, and so
Hmm.
the tax situation is like we do have a decent liability that we've been saving up for all year, and so
Hmm.
that's kind of a huge help too. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, that again that comes down the road. YouTube experiment. The problem with the no annual fee Strata card is the transfer partner conversion rate isn't the same as a Premier or Elite. Yeah, that is kind
That's
of
also
a
true.
yeah. I definitely you can't have the Strata by itself. At least it's not the optimal setup, but
No.
it's definitely a good complement to a Premier. I feel like
Hmm. Absolutely.
yeah. Sleepy Rod bringing up an interesting point. I've honestly never found amazing value with JetBlue. I found decent value though. Maybe I'm just doing it wrong.
Uh, Actually, I have found decent value with JetBlue.
Okay.
When I was actually trying to find flights from Atlanta to no, we were flying to Boston. So
Oh
Atlanta
yeah.
to Boston for the Halloween trip. I found rewards bookings for 3,500 points one way
Wow.
from Atlanta
Okay.
to Boston. So there is good. There is definitely good value to be had. Um,
Right.
if it goes to say without, if it goes without saying, that is the only decent value that I've found. So they
Yeah.
must probably be very few and far between. But yeah,
Yeah.
there's definitely value to be had. But I mean, I guess it's just a shot in the dark trying to find it.
Yeah, I will say like I kind of troll JetBlue's search, and one of the things that I love about JetBlue and most of the domestic airlines is you can actually search award space in the app on your phone,
Hmm.
which
Yeah,
is great. And so I've been able to find a couple of actual like mint seats from Logan to Heathrow for 88,000 points, which is a little high for award space in business, but
yeah,
the taxes and fees were just infinitely lower than anywhere else. And so, that actually like if that actually ever coincided with the date that made sense for my travel, I would immediately jump on that. That's
oh
just
yeah,
like every day, like 88,000 points for JetBlue Mint, because like they just bring you like small plates and you kind of pick whichever ones, and like it's a cool experience. So like there's that, but yeah, no, I think it's just like the low point value for some of their flights can be really helpful if you find kind of the right flight. But it is
yeah,
what it is.
yeah. Those taxes and fees kill. I mean, you could get a good,
Yeah.
great redemption. You're still paying
Oh yeah.
$600 in
Absolutely.
taxes and fees, and it's like,
Yeah.
wow, man, did I even book a rewards flight? I'm like, wow, it's a lot of money still.
Yeah, my buddy just finished actually yesterday made a booking from JFK to Heathrow for next
Hmm.
November, and it's he got three business class tickets for 29,000 Virgin points each, but each seat also had an accompanying tax and fees of $575. So
Oh
you
my
know,
god,
yeah,
the
I mean
highest. Yeah,
he got three free business class seats, but he did end up spending like close to $1,800. So you know,
yeah. The highest I've ever seen Virgin Atlantic fees get up to is 303. So 500. Yeah, that's
yeah,
crazy. It's almost like, is all that fees really all that's fees, or are you just recouping some
right.
of the value from the points that I just spent?
Yeah.
But yeah, I
Yeah.
oh I'm all in on Virgin though. The
Oh
Virgin
yeah.
Atlantic program is great. Um,
I honestly I
the
love so the Virgin card, which I used to have, it has a special thing where you get, I think it's a third night free at Virgin hotels. And it can include a weekend night, which is kind of amazing because like some of those hotels, there's one in Nashville, there's one in New York, and a couple other places. They can be like $300 to $500 a night, and so like just a single card of I think it's what $95 or $99 a month or something, gets you that free
yeah.
night award regardless.
Hmm.
That's kind of insane.
Yeah. No, I do think that that's pretty cool. I actually I came to you for a little bit of advice about it, but yeah, I got approved for that the Virgin card last night. So yeah,
Nice.
that's the new addition to it. So I'll be looking to fulfill that welcome bonus and get those points, saving up for something big next year. So looking forward to
Nice. What
that
kind
for
of bonus
sure.
did you get?
I got the 60,000 Virgin points after 4,000 of spend in the first 3 months. So
Nice. That's
that'll
amazing.
be fairly easy to not fairly easy, but my normal spend, putting it all on that card, it'll get it done. Probably
Yeah.
back half of like 2.5, 3 months, but it'll get done. And by then, it'll be about February, so that'll be about the time I'll probably start ramping up applications again as well. Kind
Nice.
of going along
Yeah.
with like my whole roadmap and plan for the future. It's pretty much just to chill out until February, let everything cool down, and then start back up, seeing what I can get, start building that the whole earnings setup for
Yeah.
next year.
That's amazing. I love that. Let's see. YouTube experiment saying the only reason to get the no annual fee Strata card is to try and product change it after a year for an additional custom cash. Okay.
Yeah.
There may be more than one reason, but that's definitely a good reason to get it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's a pretty good reason. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good reason. Yeah. James is saying anyone like the key card with Wells Fargo. What do you think about it? Do you know anything about it?
I did a video on the key cards
Oh, great.
from Wells Fargo. I think
Nice.
that if you're a person who uses Expedia, Vrbo, hotels.com, if I can remember correctly, is the other one that they are associated with. If you
Hmm.
use those often, the key cards are a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer. And when I was doing the video, they had elevated sign-up bonuses. I think the no annual fee card had like a $400 sign-up bonus after $1,000 to spend. I mean, if you think about that return on spend, that's 40% return on spend. That's crazy.
Yeah,
You won't find very many other cards with that sort of value at all.
that's
So
true. Yeah.
that's especially like general travel cards, not necessarily like
Hmm.
airline specific cards or hotel specific cards, but more general travel cards. You won't find value like that anywhere.
No,
But
yeah.
no, I think they're really, really good cards for the people who they make sense for. If you use
Yeah.
Expedia, if you value simplicity, there you go.
Yeah.
There it is. But
Yep.
if you value simplicity, those cards are great.
Yeah.
Those cards are really great. I would definitely recommend them to someone who could take advantage of them.
Yeah, and I actually I'm going to do a video about this because I'm going to be spending a little bit more into the spring of 2026 on this card because we're going to be staying at the Isle of Skye in Scotland, and
Oh, okay.
we're going to be traveling with a lot of people. So we have two families with each with a kid, and then we're having us, a friend join us, and so like getting a house is definitely preferable, especially in Europe with the whole like occupancy limitations and things like that.
Mhm.
And so we're going to actually use the one key cash. I got the sign up bonus of 400, and
Nice.
then we're going to use that plus everything else I make to actually put towards a Verbo for 4 nights, and that's going to save us a decent amount. And so
Nice.
but yeah, no, it's definitely it's a great card if you're kind of into that. The only kind of caveat I would say is that it earns cash back ish, right? It's one key
Yeah,
cash, which
yeah.
yeah. And so it's not points, but it's also not straight cash back in that. Like, so if you do have something like you say the Robinhood card, right? The
Mhm.
Robinhood card, you could say I could use for 3% back at Verbo too. I just have to be good at like changing it out to my brokerage account and then cashing that out and then putting that towards the booking. So, I do want to make sure I say that about that card, but it is a
Yeah.
solid card that I definitely will be using more.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
not cash back or points, but it's pretty much points. It's
Right.
like sort of
Yeah.
like locked into
Yeah.
their like ecosystem. But that's why I think that it's very specific who it works for,
Right.
but if it could definitely do you good to have it for sure.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So yeah, so obviously because Tyler was able to do a video on the one key card. If you want to see that video, go ahead and make sure you click that clickable link at Tyler's credit card tips in the description below. And make sure you go ahead and subscribe to him. He's got some really awesome videos that are actually very entertaining and very definitely worth a watch. So make sure you're going to go ahead and subscribe to that. We're trying to get him as close to 1,000 as we can. We probably can't get it with everybody on there, but we'll get mighty close if we
Well, thank you.
if we can. Yeah. But yeah, awesome. So James, welcome bonus. Cannot get if you had a bonus within the last 48 months. Oh yeah, that is unfortunate. So
Yeah.
yeah, cities and cities rules too are weird because if you get a bonus on a product change, so if you get, so let's say, so I got a bonus on the City Diamond Preferred card, which is their product change card, right?
Hmm.
So because I got the 0% APR, which is their bonus for that card, if I transfer that to a City Custom Cash, then that means I can't get a bonus for the City Custom Cash which kind of sucks, you know.
Yeah, that
So
does suck.
yeah, they're really helpful when it comes to product changing, at least with certain cards, but
Hmm.
that is a bad rule.
Yeah.
Sleepy Rod, the City A executive card is better than the Strata Elite, in my opinion. Since you can get a free custom cash for a 5x on it. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
solid. Yeah.
I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
honestly, I mean,
Yeah.
if you're a big American Airlines flyer,
Yeah.
AA branded cards all day compared to the Strata Elite. I mean, because when you
Yeah.
have a card like the Platinum and you fly Delta a lot, that Platinum can still make sense, and you don't have to
Yeah.
go with the Delta. Is it the Reserve is the top one
Yeah.
for
The
Delta?
Reserve.
You don't have to go with the Reserve. You can get a lot of value out of the Platinum with the Strata Elite, and compared to the Executive, you definitely want to go with the Executive compared to the Elite because you just get so much more value, so much more
Exactly.
value.
And honestly, like I think there's only two cards that are good for family lounge access at this point, and that's going to be the Ritz Carlton card and then the City A Executive card. Just
Yeah.
because, like, being able to get your entire family in, kids included, into the lounge every time you're flying is great. Now there is a caveat, right? So your authorized user can't get them all in unless you pay for it. I think. But that is like if your end goal is try to get everybody in your family into a lounge every single time you fly, like that's a hard card to beat.
Yeah,
So
especially now. That
yeah.
was it really sucks because my girlfriend got the Venture X this past April.
Oh
We
yeah.
got the email of the lounge access change like 3 months after we got it. And we were like,
Wow. Yeah.
"Are you serious?" It's like they're out to get us at this point. But yeah, I'm gonna have to definitely run the numbers, especially, and see if the paying that extra amount um, yearly to have the authorized user lounge access is still worth it, and then reevaluate to see which would still be worth it. Because I mean, if it ends up being that paying that extra amount of money is still worth it to us to get the lounge access we want, then we'll just do that.
Yeah.
Keep the Venture X. It's no big deal. But
Yeah.
if it ends up being that it's not a product change and then an application for another premium travel card, it's probably in the future.
Yeah. Absolutely. Honestly, it's funny. So now that I got the Venture X, I now have like access to each of the bank lounges. And I was thinking about doing a video where I go to, one of each of the lounges, but while I still have access to it, because it's my wife's card, I'm an authorized user on it.
Yeah.
The problem with this, because we went through this thinking too, is it worth it for me to pay the $125 to have access to the lounges here?
Right.
And right now I'm thinking no. And the reason why is because the only Capital One lounges I would reasonably have exposure to with regular everyday travel is to the Capital One landing at DCA, the lounge at Dulles, and then JFK if I'm going overseas. And
Right.
so if I'm making either of those trips, I'm traveling with my wife, which means that she'll have access and then I have the $45 charge to come in. So
Yep.
if we're doing it one to two times per year, it's cheaper just for me to pay $45 to enter that lounge.
Right.
And so,
Exactly.
I think that's kind of what we're thinking about. Now, that would change a little bit if I was making those kind of trips by myself. I would want to be able to access that lounge, and I wouldn't be able to if she wasn't there, right? And
Yep.
so that would be kind of the only thing that would change for me. But right now, we're not going to pay that.
Yeah, that I mean, it's the exact same thought process
Yeah,
for me and my girlfriend as well. I mean, trying to figure out if it's still worth it, how much will actually be apart. I mean, because we pretty much travel together every single time that we do. So it's definitely something that I'll have to look at when the time comes closer.
right.
Um, but yeah, I think if it ends up being that it's not worth it anymore, um, because I mean, if you think about how much it costs when you end up paying that extra 125, I mean, it still costs less than the Strata Elite, which just throw
That's
the
true.
Strata Elite out. I mean, the lounge access just doesn't even compare when you're comparing it
Yeah.
to the authorized user fee being paid on the Venture
Hmm.
X, and you compare it to the Strata Elite. The Venture X still manages to beat out the Strata Elite all day in
Yeah.
terms of lounge access. So then the next thing that you're comparing it to would be the Sapphire Reserve.
Right.
So
Yeah.
I mean, if you're comparing all of them together, I mean, the value that you still get and the money you're paying is still lower. But like you said, in terms of figuring out which ones you have access to frequently, I guess, like you said, I mean, how many do I really have access to? I know
Right.
Orlando, there's no Capital One lounge there. There's a club lounge, right?
Yeah,
There's
there's a
a
club lounge at nearly all of the terminals, but one of them just really sucks. But yeah.
is it yeah. I actually I've been to the Orlando airport. We act
Oh,
for
okay.
my girlfriend's family was looking at houses down there. We stayed down there for a little bit.
Oh, nice.
I actually really like the Orlando airport. I like how they have all the like little
Yeah,
bubbles and the trains come to the center one. I think that's pretty neat.
that is
Um,
really cool. Yeah.
but yeah, I where was I going with this? But yeah, just figuring out like how often will I really be in an area where I'll have access to a Capital One lounge? Um,
Right.
if it's not often, it's not even worth having the card in the first place. It's just
Yeah,
access to something that I'll never use. So yeah,
that's true.
it'll definitely be an interesting thing to look at and decide where to go from it. But
Yeah.
it's another
I
problem to solve.
actually,
I'm excited for it.
yeah. I actually probably have to, I do have to throw Capital One some love though, because I do love how they've decided to price this out to a degree. Now, I don't love the fact that it's more when it didn't used to be more,
Yeah,
but they could have just made it an authorized user fee. Like if you want to add an authorized user to the card, it's $125 a year. They didn't do that. So if you can get an authorized user for free and they still get the travel protections, they still get the purchase protections, and more importantly, they still get the TSA PreCheck global entry credit as well. But they just don't get the lounge access. So I love the fact that it's not as bad as it could have been, but it's definitely worse than it was, but they definitely kind of it's an interesting little kind of way for them to kind of thread that needle.
yeah. I mean, Venture X, we all knew was too good to be true for too long.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it was only a matter of time. And it happened. Everyone was upset about it. But like you said, it could have been a lot worse. At least they just took
Yeah.
the lounge access. They didn't take the whole authorized user. At least
Exactly.
they kind of knew how far they could step without stepping too far. I'm sure there's still quite a few people that are willing to pay that 125 to get their lounge access back, as opposed to how many people would just up and cancel the card if they had to pay extra for the authorized user.
Right. Yeah. 100%. And that's definitely probably a key kind of consideration that they were doing. JP has some really great points here. JetBlue Mint is my favorite domestic business class. No lounge, but the best food, seats, and service, in my opinion, or in my experience. Sorry, I'm trying to get more JetBlue points. They have new partners that are at good prices. Oh yeah, that's a really great question, actually, or really great point. Their partners are kind of insane too. But yeah, Mint really interested in that
Hmm.
as well. He
Noted.
continues. With JetBlue points, you can book Japan Airlines business class at a price very similar to AA. Also, Qatar and Condor business class at the lowest rates. I'm really excited about Condor, honestly. Like I every once in a while when I'm traveling or when I'm looking on like Points or something like that, I see Condor and they're really cheap on fees and they're really cheap on points. And it's not that bad of a thing. Most of the Condor planes have a similar layout to Aer Lingus, where they have like the throne seat every other row. But it seems to be really good service. The only problem with Condor is that almost every flight has a layover at Frankfurt, which is like, if you're traveling from London, it's great that you're saving some money and some taxes, but you have to go back to Frankfurt before you can come back to the United States, which is kind of like, so there's a give and take. But I'm really excited about Condor. I've been watching that for a redemption that I'm actually planning in the next couple of weeks, honestly. So
Is Condor an airline? I've never
yeah,
actually heard of them. Oh,
yeah,
okay. That's
yeah.
pretty
It's
neat. I've
based out of
never even heard of
Frankfurt.
them.
Is their main airport.
Noted. I'll have to look into that. Yeah, I've never even heard of them until now.
Yeah, yeah. They're pretty cool. They have they have interesting livery on their planes. It's like kind of like a not a check but like a stripe or something. It's cool.
Let me look
But
at it real
but
quick.
thanks for bringing
Oh,
that up,
yeah, that's
JP.
very interesting.
Yeah.
It's like those Chinese finger traps. It's like the color pattern that they have on them.
Yes, that's right. Yeah. All right. So we did miss YouTube experiment saying JetBlue is for domestic economy, usually 1.5x, but the actual fare price is usually lower than most fares traveling to from New York City. Haven't looked international. JetBlue are on Biz or first though, so I don't know. Okay, yeah. Yeah,
Hmm.
I think honestly, I think the reason why people prefer JetBlue is just because the actual point value can be lower than some of the competing airlines. And so yeah, that may be kind of a function, like the value isn't quite there because the cash prices could be lower. But, just being able to make that flight for again, like, 3 or 4 thousand JetBlue points might be more worth it to some people.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see here. JP continues. The JetBlue business card gives Group A boarding. Oh, so first on the plane after Mint and status people, I would pay $99 a year for Group A boarding every year. Wow, yeah, I'm really
That's
gonna have
actually
to try
pretty
to get
neat,
that.
honestly. I mean,
Yeah,
that high group boarding after that's actually pretty high. I don't really know of very many others that you or
yeah,
$99 annual fee cards that get you on the plane
no,
that
yeah.
quick.
The
Pretty neat.
fun fact though, the Frontier card I saw gives you Group Two boarding. I don't know what that gives you on Frontier,
It's
but
it's you book after assisted boarding or like
okay,
veterans and then status people. So
oh, okay,
it's technically group 3. So
oh, okay,
you're the
gotcha.
third like group to board. So yeah, pretty much the same
Cool.
as it. I hadn't really thought about it like that. So yeah, there's only 2 cards that I know about now that give you that sort of
Yeah,
boarding.
but Group A does sound better than Group Two, so
Yeah.
James is definitely into Tyler's credit card tips. He works on planes, has a YouTube channel, and a girlfriend. Sheesh.
James, man, you're making me blush. Stop.
I guess some people just have all the wins. So,
Ah, Lord.
YouTube experiment. Jesse has a great point. If Capital One has a lounge at your home airport, it's probably a no-brainer. Yeah, no, I would
Absolutely.
definitely do
Yeah.
that
It's a no-brainer.
because
Kind of like
it.
yeah,
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
kind of like if you're like kind of like given that I'm in Atlanta, I mean, you would think that the American Express Platinum would be a no-brainer. I just have struggled so much to justify that annual fee. But who
Yeah,
knows? Near future, looking at the different variants of the Platinum card, it may end up being making sense. But yeah, absolutely.
yeah. I feel like honestly, it from what I've heard, I haven't actually been to a Capital One lounge. Most people say that they are the best, and it seems like it's because they got the space. The food appears to always be on point, and so it seems to be a pretty good experience. So like if I had one at my home airport, absolutely, I would probably definitely make that trade.
100%. The food in the Capital One lounges is amazing. Like the one at the Capital One Lounge in Dallas Fort Worth, they had this birria macaroni and cheese. Oh my god,
Ooh,
it
that
was
does sound
amazing.
good.
It was so
Yeah.
good. It was so good. So yeah, their food is definitely up there. It made what had been a rough day of travel all the worth it.
That's amazing. I got to say, so the Atlanta Centurion is my favorite Centurion. I think it's a lot of
Mm.
people's favorite Centurion lounge, but their sweet tea is consistently the best sweet tea I've ever had in my life. So,
So,
you
so
know,
you like your sweet tea a little bit more sweet,
yeah,
like really like sweet, almost like syrupy a little bit.
it's not very sweet. Here's the thing. So it is sweet. It's on the like
Mhm.
if you're looking for not so sweet tea, it's definitely like a little bit on the sweeter side. But
Yeah,
what makes it good is not that it's sweet, it's that it's flavorful. They actually brew the tea, so it's good quality black tea, and they brew it for the precisely the right moment so it doesn't start to get a little bitter.
right.
And whatever their process is, they actually make it so it's actually consistently good. And so like it's always like the flavor's there, but also the sweetness is there for me. So
Good
yeah.
deal.
Yeah.
That's a lot more thought than I would think would go into it. So good deal.
Right. I'm big into tea. So
Good deal. Awesome.
yeah. All right, James, Bank of America Premium Elite for priority passes still. I actually don't know. I do know that my friend John R just recently did a video about that. I think that was his most recent card. And so I do know that he probably would know about that, but I actually don't know off the top of my head. Let me see if I can look that up. So the Premium Elite card, that is like that's their black card, basically.
Oh,
It's
that's
not
their
like,
top line card.
yeah.
Yeah, five.
So it has $550 annual fee. Let's see about lounge access.
Yep, he's right. Yeah, it still has 4 complimentary priority pass
Okay.
select membership passes.
And I think that actually includes restaurants, if I'm not mistaken, too. Unless that's just the U.S. Bank one that maybe does.
Free unlimited access lounges and experiences worldwide. It doesn't say outright if it includes restaurants. I don't know
Restaurants.
if maybe
Okay.
you can find it and I'm just blind.
Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah, all I can see is that it just to the lounges, but it
Okay.
may also be for the actual restaurants as well.
Okay. So 9 months ago, someone on Reddit is claiming that they were able to access a restaurant.
Hmm.
So we'll see. But
Yeah,
yeah, if anybody
8
actually
months
knows
ago. I
in the
mean,
chat, yeah,
8 months ago, so much has changed in 8 months. The
I know,
fact
right?
with credit card stuff, it's
Seriously.
kind of up in the air.
Yeah. All right. James saying, "Gotta win the lotto, and you can have any card you want." Yeah, there we go. Uh, so I gotta say, I have to confess. So I just recently got my second business platinum card, and the reason why I did it in a video, um, because to get to triple dip the credits, but also 250,000 point sign up bonus, the whole 9 yards. But I was watching Uncle Luke's live stream from yesterday, this morning when I was walking my dog, and I was like, man, I really kind of want another personal platinum card too, but oh, it's just too much money.
It's Mr. Platinum card.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, that's $8.95 4 times. Yeah, that's a lot of money.
Yeah. Well, I mean, to be fair, like this one is the first one that has the 8.95 annual fee. The other ones
Yeah,
were
that's true.
just 6.95. So,
Yep.
Yeah. YouTube, JetBlue lets handicap people on before Group A. Okay. That's good to know. Interesting. All right. Stinky Monkey's still here. Capital One is losing favor in 2026, except for those who can access their lounges. 2X is simple, but not exciting unless you push a ton of spend through it and get that elsewhere for no annual fee. All right. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I agree, honestly. 2X is nice, but it's still just 2X.
Yeah.
I can name a few cards off the top of my head that are 2X cards that don't have $395 in annual fee and credits and benefits that I have to keep track of. Then again, you have the mirrored image of that, and there's a bunch of other 2X cards out there that don't give me lounge access, that don't have travel credits, that don't have extra benefits as well.
That's
But
true.
I mean, yeah, I don't think they're losing favor. I guess in a sense they are, but I mean, like I said, so good for so long, it had to end eventually. There
Yeah.
will still be a audience for the Venture X. And yeah, the whole part about having to push a ton of spin through it, I totally agree with that.
Yeah.
I really the only thing that I was using it for was like Costco trips, but recently I've switched to the PayPal debit card while it's still available at 5% back at
Yeah.
Costco. I mean, because that's a huge amount of my spend. I mean, I get like fruits and vegetables from like Aldi and like
Nice.
a few things from Walmart, but the bulk of my groceries is spent at Costco. And 5x back on Costco. I mean, you're not going to get that anything else besides the city card that they have with
Right.
with Costco. So I'm going to take advantage of
Absolutely.
that while it's still there because that's another example of one of those things that's too good to last forever.
Yeah.
But yeah, not necessarily losing favor, just having a lesser audience, I guess you could say.
Yeah. I think honestly, so I kind of get Stinky Monkey, and I think I agree with them a little bit more than you do. But that's just because Capital One hasn't really changed much other than lounge access.
Yeah.
The problem is that everyone else has gotten infinitely better in the same time period. And by
Yeah.
everyone else, I primarily mean City, right? So for much of last year, Capital One was my solid backup duo. And it was because I had the Venture card and the Saver card. If I'm traveling overseas, that's where I'm going to go to because no foreign transaction fees. Everyone likes Visa and MasterCard, the whole 9 yards, right?
Yeah.
But the problem is City has all these hotel partners. City has really great rates with JetBlue, with the airlines that matter at 1-to-1.
Mm-hmm.
And Capital One having poor redemption rates with key partners is frustrating. Having not good hotel options in comparison to other options is frustrating. So like they're quickly becoming where they're okay, but they don't really excel in any one category compared to probably where they did maybe last year.
Yeah, I agree. And the Capital One Duo was a majority of what I used for pretty much the whole year until probably the past 2 months or so. I've sort of switched it up. But yeah, I love the Capital One Duo. It was so easy. I didn't have to think about it.
Yeah,
Blue
yeah,
one for catch-all
exactly.
and Costco, and gas, and then orange one for pretty much everything else. It
And
was
that
very
3x
simple.
entertainment category is just incredible.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
especially for someone that likes concerts, you know.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, the only thing that beats it out that I can kind of think off the top of my head would be the Wells Fargo Attune
Yeah,
is the only
that's a
thing
good
that
one
kind of
too.
beats it out, right? And
Because
I
4x
love the
is,
prospect of the Attune card.
yeah,
I cannot believe it went so under the radar for so long. But yeah, absolutely.
yeah, that's awesome. All right, Calder saying I downgraded my Venture X to the Venture One. Didn't want another credit to deal with, and working on my travel schedule. Platinum is my main lounge card now. Awesome. Okay. That is one of the things that I do love about Capital One is that you can get full access to all their transfer partners on a no annual fee credit card, which
Oh yeah.
is very rare. So
Yep.
I think
I
they actually
totally
might be
agree.
the only. Well, actually, no. Wells Fargo does it too. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. You can get access to all the transfer partners with the autograph no annual fee card. But yeah, Capital One is the
yeah,
only one where you can get access to all of them with no annual fee, and it's great. It really is.
yeah, yeah. It's amazing. It's a good card. Sleepy Rod, I'm okay with the Venture X as is. I love the simplicity of it instead of having these random coupons that people do mental gymnastics through to convince themselves they're getting value. Yeah,
That's another way that the Venture X still holds a lot of value with a lot of people is the
that's
simplicity
true.
of it. I totally agree with that. I really
Yeah.
do. I
I don't
really,
have to go
really
to
do.
Saks every 6 months. I don't have to go to Lululemon. I don't
I
have,
don't, I don't, yeah, I don't have to, bust out addition and subtraction skills to figure out if this card's worth it. I kind of can
yeah,
do the mental math and
yeah,
figure out if it is. So yeah, the simplicity of it is an absolute no brainer. That's why I
absolutely.
still love the venture card. It's just got to figure out if it still loves me.
Right. Yeah. 100%. Yeah. Matt Flashner is still here. Venture X $300 travel credit to me is a prepaid credit for any travel, rental car, hotel, or flights. Great flexibility for me. It'll give you 5 to 10x back. That is a positive. Yeah. That's solid. Have you, what is your experience with a $300 travel credit?
So we used it for the New England area trip.
Oh, okay.
We booked a I think it was a 3-night stay at a less than desirable um motel, honestly, outside of
Okay.
Boston. I
Yeah.
would not go again if
All right.
words
Good to
could
know.
if I had to put it in short words. But yeah, I think the next time around if I were to use it with the combination of the President's Circle status that it gives you, the Venture X, and then being able to use it on rental cars, I think that the value that you could get from the $300 doing it for a rental car would be
Yeah.
really great because I mean, we had to rent a car when we went to New England, and for all 6 days that we were there, the rental car only cost like $400
Oh,
because
wow.
of the
That's
President's Circle
amazing.
status. It got a pretty huge discount.
Yeah.
So yeah,
That
I think that that
actually,
could be
yeah.
worth it.
That's really solid. Now, so do you were able to use your rental car status just booking it through the portal?
I actually haven't checked. That's sort of
Okay.
like the thing. If I were to do it again, I would see if I could do it that way.
Okay.
If I could like add my or if it would show up in my app, like with Hertz after I make
Right.
the booking, and then my status could be applied to it or whatnot. Like, I mean, even with like the status, you get the free no fill up on return. Um,
Oh
that
yeah.
makes it worth it as well. That's also a great
Definitely.
perk about the status. But if you could add your status into the actual portal when making the booking, that is a no brainer and would make that $300 worth of travel credit so much more worth it.
Yeah.
So much more
Yeah,
worth
to
it for the value.
100%. Yeah. That would become my rental car card for sure.
Absolutely.
That's amazing. Uh Couture, I guess. Yeah. Capital One is getting more attractive by hiding the course and not going coupon book. Sure. Saver X will really tell if they are going to go to the coupon dark side.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think they will, honestly. I really think that they're about to hop on it. It'll be a It'll be Capital One's gold card.
Yeah,
It'll be Capital
yeah.
One's gold card. I think they'll end up
Especially
with
if it's
coupon
close to
bonus.
that survey they were sending out, because that one would
Yeah.
have been. It's definitely portal centric. $100
Hmm.
travel portal, $100 food credit, but then they
Yeah.
also had in Apple TV and Uber One, which is that's like table stakes for like if you're gonna have a coupon card, gotta have that,
Yeah. I mean, it's what worked for American Express, and they're doing great. So everyone will copy it, and then it'll be like that
Right.
for a while, and then someone else will do something that changes it up and really works. It's just a cycle. It's just how like the
Yeah.
latest trend is an opposite of what the trend before it was.
Yeah. That is amazing. Yeah. Absolutely. So Calder's has a question. Philip, what's your plan to hit the Biz Plat sub? So yeah, great question. So $20,000 over the course of 3 months is a substantial sign-up bonus. So I wouldn't have gotten this card if I didn't already have, a baby on the way. So my wife and I are in the process of adoption, the final process of adoption. The baby's birth due date is January 27th, and so at placement. So when we actually are able to take Wells from the hospital, we owe $28,000, and so yeah. So that's going to go on this card. Fortunately, we were able to do a little bit of fundraising, and we do have some other funding lined up. So that will be paid off pretty immediately. Won't be paying any interest on that card, but running it through that is nice because you get the 2x for the $28,000 in spend, but then you also get the sign up bonus. And so I'll be sitting on an additional 300,000 points.
That's awesome that you're adopting. I love the
Thank you.
hold on, concept or prospect of adoption. I love that. I think that's awesome that you're adopting.
Thank you. Yeah, we're pretty excited about it. We just had our baby shower recently, and so we're
Hmm.
starting to put together the the nursery and everything. And that's why I actually had to
Yeah.
move to the guest room because I lost my studio. So
Yeah. Well,
yeah,
congratulations, man. I think that's awesome.
thank you. I appreciate that. Matt Flashner saying also the 10,000 point anniversary is helpful. You spend 5,000 a year, get 10,000 points, get 10,000 anniversary. That's 20,000 points, effectively 4-point multiplier. That's an interesting way to look at it. I hadn't thought about it increasing the
Yeah.
multiplier. That's awesome.
Yeah. I mean, I hadn't really thought about it like that either. That's a great point.
Yeah, and one of the things though, so when Lang always says the card pays you $5 a year to that's with a 1 cent per point valuation, and
Yeah.
if you are able to transfer to Virgin or Air France and get more than that, then they're paying you a lot more than $5 to keep the card. So
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
yeah.
if you could transfer to like Virgin and get one of their like, God, how cheap can you get the? I mean, I've seen flights sometimes as low as 10,000 honestly for like a flight from JFK to London Heathrow. I mean
So if
that's
you
amazing.
find the right saver award space, you can find them for 6,000 points, but it is kind of few and far
Exactly.
between. Yeah.
But I mean,
Um,
if you can find it, that's a
yeah,
outstanding value,
it
honestly. And
is.
for every year, awesome.
Yeah, it is crazy. Yeah. Virgin is just an amazing program, and I love that you
Oh
can use them for hotel stays. Which Virgin hotels, I think it's usually works out to be like 60,000 points per night.
yeah. Hmm.
Which there one in Edinburgh and the one in London actually works out to a pretty good cent per point valuation. And then of course they got the Virgin Voyages program, which is kind of insane too.
Hmm.
So
Yeah, very
yeah,
diverse program. It's pretty cool.
oh yeah. Stinky Monkey, Philip knows people eventually just graduate past Capital One. Not to mention Capital One Partners doesn't offer anything compelling in comparison to the other big issuers. Yeah. They don't have anything that's like you have to have Capital One cards to get that. Well, I guess Japan Airlines is now
Yeah,
kind of the big deal. So that's a positive for them.
but their transfer kind of sucks, right? It's like a 1
I
to
mean,
point 0.5,
it
or is
sucks
it
in the
a
term
little
that
bit
it
better?
should be 1-to-1,
Yeah,
but
but
it doesn't suck in the fact that I think they're the only ones, right, that we can convert directly to Japan Airlines.
I think so. Let me
Yeah,
check.
I'm sure JP will tell us, but I think it
Yeah.
may be one of the only ones. But yeah, anyway, I'm sure someone in the chat will tell us. Matt,
Um,
I agree with Philip though. Transfer partners are tough. Yeah, they definitely can be. Like you have to be good at the game, which is it's fun if you are, but it can be frustrating for kind of most people. I feel like. Okay, yeah. So Matt Flasher is saying built to JL. Thanks so much, Matt. Appreciate you.
yeah,
Yeah, I figured there'd be somebody else, but yeah. So I think built they actually might be 1-to-1, honestly, if I remember correctly. Let's check that.
yeah. Built to 1-to-1.
Okay.
Built one
So
to
yeah,
one
so
to
then it does suck a
Japan.
little bit compared to built, but you're also going to earn a lot more Capital One points than you are going to earn built points.
Hey, you could also transfer Hilton points 10-to-1 if you really, really, really want Japan Airlines points. I mean, you can do it.
So if you wanted to, you can convert American Express points to Hilton 1-to-2,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
and then so that would be, let's see, so 10-to-1.
Mm-hmm.
That would be what, 5 American Express points to 1 Japan
Yeah.
Airlines point. Yeah,
Oh yeah. So,
definitely not worth it.
man, that should have been in a members only video. That's a new cheat code right there.
There you go. It is funny because whenever I look at like Seats.arrow or Point Hound or something like that, it's like every once in a while, like you can actually make this with like 500,000 Marriott points, and I'm like, why? you know, you know?
Yeah, I could, but I don't want to do that. I just
No,
don't.
yeah, exactly, yeah. Oh man, that's amazing. Let's see. We did have a couple other really great points that I want to make sure I get to. We have a very active chat. Are you okay to
Yeah.
stay this
Yeah,
late or?
I'm good.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. JP saying Capital One lounges have great food. I take Capital One lounges over all the other credit card lounges. Okay, yeah, I'm glad because I have heard a lot of people say that. Next is Chase Sapphire lounges, then Centurion lounges. So I've only been to the Sapphire Lounge in Philly, and I will say that food was awesome. You could order hot food directly to your table. That was so great.
That's pretty cool. We almost had the opportunity to go to the Sapphire Lounge in Boston,
Oh, really?
but the
Okay.
walk was too far. It would have been like
Oh, yeah.
almost a 45-minute walk from the terminal that we were
Ooh,
in,
yeah.
and the Air France Lounge was only about 20 minutes. So we went to the
Yeah.
Air France Lounge instead with priority pass access, and that food was amazing. It was so
Yeah.
good.
Air
And
France knows
we
how to
we
do
chose not to
lounges.
like yeah, we chose not to eat on the way to the airport so that we could eat at one of the lounges.
Nice.
It was really good food. It was really good.
That's amazing. I actually, it's funny. So when my wife and I, we were kind of rounding out our trip. So we went to DC and then she had to go do a work thing in Pennsylvania. And then so we were driving through Pennsylvania and we ended up actually going to, I forgot what the name of it was, but it's like it's the country's largest buffet. It's completely owned by or not the Pennsylvania Dutch Amish people or whatever.
Hmm.
Um, and it was really good. But we did that, and then we went to the Sapphire Lounge, and so I was like, I wasn't able to eat as much as I wanted to, but
Yeah,
but yeah,
you just
it's
gotta on
solid.
those days when you go to the buffets, you just gotta drink a lot of water, keep your stomach expanded all day. No
There
food.
you go. Yeah,
That's the cheat code. You gotta get that value worth.
yeah. All right. So Mike Newland asking, did you use the VentureX at Shell to earn AA miles also?
Uh, yeah, I mean you can earn like AA miles. No, honestly, because yeah, you earn miles for every gallon of gas that you buy, but to me, I was lazy, I guess. I just
Oh
didn't
yeah,
feel that it was worth it to even set up the account when you earn a mile per gallon of gas. My
yeah.
car's 14 gallons. My girlfriend's car is, I think, like 16.2 gallons of gas.
Oh, nice.
It's 30 miles, but I mean, what is that in the grand scheme of things? So, I mean, for
Yeah,
someone
that's true.
who it makes sense for, I mean, totally go for it. You're filling up some sort of 18 wheeler and you can get that amount of, points, a decent amount of points for that, go for it. But it just wasn't worth even setting up the account to me, honestly.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, I love it when there are kind of opportunities like that. Like, for example, we've linked our Starbucks accounts to our Delta account,
Yeah.
and so the reason why to do that is like if you, it's kind of a sliding scale, but if you do $100 on a gift card, you get 2 Delta points per dollar. And so like basically we load up $100, and that's kind of like how we like budget for the month or something, you know. And then if we do it on the gold card, we get 4x from Amex and then 2x Delta. And so yeah, like you said, it's never going to break the bank. You're not going to get a free seat out of it, but
Right.
it is enough that eventually over time, like it could kind of push you over the edge and stuff. So, you
Yeah.
know, but yeah, no, that's a solid point. Thanks so much, Mike. Oh yeah, so Mike is actually saying 3 months
Yeah.
per gallon.
I saw that. I
Okay,
was like, oh, okay.
yeah,
That might make me want to make the account, honestly. But yeah,
yeah.
like you
There
said,
you go.
it's never going to be like the different or like get you that free seat, but add up over time.
Right.
It could amount
Yeah.
to something.
Yeah. Oh, and then Jesse said Shady Maple Smorgasbord. Yeah, absolutely. That's exactly what it was called. That was actually really good. They had really good crab cakes, interestingly enough, and the wings were actually really crispy and good.
Hmm.
So I was happy about that. But yeah, oh yeah. So we have a super chat,
Hey,
BPBL. Thanks for all the great content, Philip. I'm addicted to your channel. Well, thanks so much for being here. I really
how about
appreciate
that?
you. Yeah, that's incredible. All right. Let's see. Here we go. Okay. So all right, I got completely lost in the chat. The chat's been just exploding today. So
Yeah,
we're having a late night session.
there we go.
Um, let's see. Okay. Ironed. I just want to make sure I'm not losing out on anybody. Sorry. Oh yeah. Okay. So background balloon. Thanks so much for being here. Background. Really appreciate you. You are as on time as you want to be, and we're lucky to have you. So thanks for being here.
Hmm.
Always in the background, Mr. Balloon. Yeah. Sleepy Rod, I earned 80,000 points to the Capital One shopping portal this year. I would have had to spend ungodly amount of money through my 5X City Custom Cash or Wells Fargo Autograph to earn the same amount. Yeah, the Capital One shopping portal is honestly kind of, it might actually be my favorite thing of the year, honestly,
Hmm.
because so I have the Venture Card and the Venture X. And with the Capital One offers, it kind of works like Rakuten, where you have to
Yeah,
click on the link, which it kind of sucks because the in-app experience is terrible.
yeah, because it takes you to the browser, and then it's like,
Yeah,
is this working?
exactly. But the thing I love about it is you get stupid multipliers on everyday purchases, right? So like when I had to change my rental car booking for Thanksgiving at the last minute, I was able to get 2x on Avis for I think it was $800 booking for the week. And I didn't even have to use my venture card for it. I actually use my Ritz because it has better protections. And I was able to actually get 2x Capital One miles on that booking. And so that was solid. So yeah, no, I definitely love the Capital One shopping portal. That is the GOAT. Great point. Thanks so much, Sleepy Rod. BBBL, I went the opposite direction and changed from a decades old Venture One to the Venture X. There you go. Honestly, Luke actually said earlier that the Venture X is one of the cards that he would actually be fine not getting a sign up bonus for. And I kind of agree with him, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, because there's so much. I think it's because
Yeah,
it's so easy to get a positive annual fee.
it is.
Or
Yeah,
I mean, it's one that you could definitely go without a welcome bonus and still always get value from. I think
right.
the prospect of getting the value from the welcome bonuses are those cards that have objectively positive annual fees where it's all case sensitive. It's
Yeah,
very case sensitive at least. Venture X, almost anyone could get a positive annual fee. So yeah, I agree. I kind of see what he means.
yeah, definitely. Stinky Monkey, people scream about simplicity, but if we were really being honest here, you're not actually chasing simplicity if you're getting welcome offers and tuning into credit card YouTube blogs and other content. That's
That's
a
true.
that's
You're
a
only
very
complicating
fair
your
point.
life.
Yeah, yeah. Like okay, I mean, if you just got to take a look at, I just have way too many complicated stuff going on. So
It's like a chapter book, man.
exactly, yeah. Second part coming out soon. Yeah. Okay. So BP wanted the 2x catch-all, but they kept denying me. And then when the minimum spend increased to 10,000, I just gave up. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. That's it, because it is over 6 months, which is, not nothing, but that is a substantial amount. That's fair.
Yeah.
All right. Oscar, I said, I heard you can use the 300 travel credit for activities like in museums, tours, and even escape rooms. I like that Capital One is broadening the use cases of that credit.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
If that's true and if that's consistent, that's great for that credit.
Yeah.
That changes it a
It
lot,
really
actually.
does. Yeah.
I mean,
Because like every time we travel, like we're going to do the big red bus tour, and it's it's the stupidest, most touristy thing that you could ever do, but it actually kind of works because you're just sitting around and you listen to the little thing that they put in your ear,
mhm,
but like you learn about the layout, you like where everything is. So every time we go to a new city, the first day we're doing the bus tour, and
mhm,
that kind of helps us figure out what we want to do for the rest of the trip.
right.
um but yeah, and so paying for that through that would be incredible. Yeah, I love that. JP, thanks so much. I appreciate you. Yeah, no, we're very, very excited. Stinky Monkey, mega congrats on your future points with baby Phillips. Yeah. I'll definitely have a co-host here in a couple months for sure.
Mm.
Calder's Phil, the question everyone might be wondering, are you going to get a built card now that Mesa is gone? Yeah. If they will give me one, I will take it. I can't say which one I'm going to be trying to go for, but we'll see. So, what about you? Are you interested in the built card?
I am, I guess, restraining myself from having huge expectations for the built cards.
That's
I
fair.
want to believe that they'll be great. I want to believe that they'll be the next big thing. Everybody will be
Yeah.
clawing to get them, but I just know that there'll be strings. I just know that there'll be stipulations. But I honestly, I mean, if it turns out at least decent, yeah, I'll probably get it. Especially if they have decent multipliers for daily spend. Yeah, I might
Yeah.
very well consider it if, like you said, if they'll give it to me.
Right. And I think the one thing that I think that I'm most nervous about, and I probably should be most nervous about this, the company just shutting down, because you don't go in your third bank unless you're, well, a multi-trillion dollar company like Walmart. But
Yeah.
it's not a good sign for most banks or for most companies. But the fact that like the survey that came out like last February, there was a lot of multipliers that relied on built dining. And Bill Dining is a solid program for a lot of people, but it's not a very strong program where I live. And so if the dining multiplier is only through Built Dining, then that would be kind of a huge reason to not get it, honestly. So we'll see what they do, but that would be kind of the only big question mark for me at this point.
Yeah. I kind of agree. I mean, within 30 minutes of me, there's only about 4 restaurants that apply to the built dining program, and I don't really find myself at them very often. So,
Okay.
yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
the dining program is definitely a subsection of the actual credit cards and the earning on rent and whatnot.
Right.
But
Yeah.
I mean, it works
Absolutely.
for some people,
Yeah.
especially in bigger like population areas. Yeah, I can definitely see it.
Yeah. Awesome. Background balloon at JP putting Centurion at the bottom of the tier list is bold. Half of the internet about to revolt. Okay. That's an interesting question, background. So, I can't say if it's better than the Capital One Lounge, but the Centurion Club in Atlanta is amazing because every time I've been there, the food has always been pretty incredible. Like like even for breakfast, like they had like really spicy like chicken and well they had spicy chicken, and they had like biscuits and gravy that were really good. And they always have like really good chicken thighs, and they had like there was one that was like a pimento cheese mac and cheese or something that was actually really good. So they do really cool things with their lounge food. Um, but the Sapphire Lounge was really good, and I can imagine Capital One being good. So I think it's just a matter of like they're good, but they're not like amazing. I don't know. What do you think?
Um, I think food in general kind of make or breaks the lounge. I
Yeah,
mean, because it's
that's
nice
fair.
to have a quiet place to sit, but it's also it's another thing, actually really being able to enjoy your time there. Um, so yeah, I think it make or breaks everything. And when you go to like the Priority Pass Lounge here in Atlanta, the Club Lounge, it's finger food. It's not it's not groundbreaking or anything. So I mean, it makes that experience a little bit less ideal. But yeah, I think that food make or breaks a lounge. Honestly,
Yeah, definitely.
absolutely. That's why it's such a big deal, and I thought it was a good thing to mention the food at the Capital One Lounge in Dallas Fort Worth because it was really good and it really added to the experience of going to that lounge.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, food is definitely kind of a big deal because that's what you want, right? You want to save the money at the airport. You want to have that premium experience, and food definitely culturally for the United States is kind of a big deal.
Yeah.
As a significant part of that. Yeah, definitely. So just to let everybody know, we are going to have a hard stop in the next like 10 to 15 minutes or so. Definitely want you to stay around. We're going to try to get to all of the comments, but just want to let you guys know that we will be wrapping up somewhat shortly. So we're definitely going to keep going through the chat though. So Big Kurt, Caviar and Capital One Las Vegas Lounge. There we go.
Wow, I did not know that. That's pretty cool. I'll have to make sure to
Yeah.
make it a staple to go by the Capital One Lounge in Las Vegas.
We might just have
That
to
is pretty
fly
neat.
to Las Vegas to try this out. We'll have
That's
to
true.
see.
That's very true.
Nonstop Dan actually he did a video on I think it was Emirates first class, and they give you as much caviar as you want, and he kind of put that to the test, which was actually very interesting. So they just gave him
Wow.
a bowl of caviar. Yeah,
I wonder how good that becomes after maybe the fourth or
right.
fifth time of
Yeah.
having it. Like, I mean, I'm sure it's all like novelty, so it blocks out
Mhm.
any sort of bad taste that it might have. But I don't know,
Yeah.
man. After 4 or 5 times, everything just kind of starts tasting like nothing.
Yeah. I would imagine the second court was infinitely less enjoyable than the first.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. Let's see. Vandersar. Sapphire lounges in LGA and Boston are very good. Yeah, definitely. Even the one in Phoenix is decent, even if it is very small. I think Phoenix is, well, no, Phoenix isn't the new one, is it? Or no, Las Vegas was the one that was new. That's right. But yeah, the Boston one, that one has like a speakeasy too. Like that one just looks
Yeah.
really cool.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
really disappointed that we weren't actually able to go. But I mean, we love that area so much. We'll probably end up back in that Boston airport again.
Oh,
Boston
honestly.
airport, like at the like check-in desk, is actually really cool. They have all the flags up above your
Yes.
head. That's
Yeah.
actually really cool. That was probably the nicest looking airport that we had ever been to.
Yeah, absolutely. Background is saying, forget bar hopping. I guess we're all lounge jumping now. Absolutely.
Hey, there we go.
Yeah. Especially, so I kind of messed up at this Chase Sapphire Lounge because I ordered a mixed drink. I forgot which one it was. And I also went to the bar because at the one in Philadelphia, there's a little the beer garden, but it's just another room with a bar. And so when the guy brought me the drink, I already had a beer on the table. And I think they like shut me out like internally because when I tried to order another drink, which okay, 3 drinks is bad, like they like wouldn't let me actually order it, and so I think they just cut me off. So
I'm like, wow, man, this guy's trying to get wasted. We got to cut him
I
off
know,
right
right?
now.
Yeah, I was doing economy, like we were trying to make it work.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. Calby's here. Thanks so much for being here, Calby. I
What's
think
up, man?
Calby was on with somebody. Was it Spencer?
Yeah, it was Spencer.
Okay, yeah. That was a really cool live. I really love
Yeah.
that one.
Yeah, I enjoyed that one too.
Big Kurt's here. Thanks so much for being here, Big Kurt. Capital One is price match in their travel portal. Oh yeah, that's nice too.
Yeah, if you find a better price within, I think, some set amount of hours, they'll price match it.
Yeah.
Or like if the price changes, they'll price
Mhm.
match it as well.
That is nice. And honestly, so I did book a hotel through Capital One. We never actually ended up staying there, but I will say the cancellation process was very easy. And so that was definitely kind of giving me a reason to want to use them again.
Yeah.
Stinky Monkey, I do wish other issuers honored price matching in portals, just like Chase does with the edit. Yeah, I think we're all just looking at American Express and be like, "What the hell, man?"
Yeah. I've never even like laid my eyes on their travel portal because I've heard such bad things.
Yeah,
Just don't even want to bother.
They do officially have a price matching program, but it has to be the exact same ticket classification, and it has to have the same like cancellation date. So let's say if you found a new rate the next day that has a cancellation day like date of 1 day after, that no longer qualifies as a price matching for them, at least based on what I could read on Reddit and everything.
Right.
So that's super frustrating. But yeah, good point. Mike Newland is welcoming Cabby. Calby, thanks so much for being here. We get one issue Calby has with Capital One shopping offers is sometimes it doesn't code right away and they claw back. Wow, my Capital One account is negative 40,000 points. Oof, that's rough. I am
That's the
sorry to hear
problem
that,
with
Calby.
the whole external link thing. It's just rough. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's. I feel like that has something to do with it. The fact that it takes you to their own link and it doesn't update it immediately, especially if you're on like a mobile device. It's just
yeah,
a bag of worms. I just don't even bother
yeah,
unless I'm like
exactly.
on a computer.
Right, absolutely, yeah. Matt Darling, 2x through Capital One portal is child's play. I got 25x on a set of tires. Quick 28,000 points for something I needed anyway. Yeah, absolutely. I love that.
Oh yeah,
Even, yeah, that's incredible. Even better if you can get a rebate on those tires too, because then you're
what?
getting money back on the back end too.
Yeah, was it? I remember Rakuten had 25x or a really high, um, like points redemption for Tire Agent, which is like a tire ordering
Yeah.
website over
Amex
the
offer Amex offers had one too for them.
Yeah, I almost pulled the trigger. I don't know why I didn't. I need tires anyway. It's just one of those things, man. Live and
Yeah,
you learn. Hindsight 2020 kind of thing.
exactly. Yeah, I have a Honda Accord and it's the 2020 the 2.0 version.
Mm-hmm.
And the problem with that car is it has entirely too much torque. Like if you kick it into sport mode, like you're spinning like literally just like touching the pedal a little bit. Like it just
Yeah.
it begs to be driven.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been a little aggressive and I've kind of needing to replace my tires a little bit earlier than I probably should. But
Yeah.
you know,
Mm-hmm. I think it's a front wheel drive thing, being
it
extra
is. Yeah.
squirrely.
Yeah. It'd be nice if it was all wheel drive, but yeah, just being front wheel drive is definitely kind of frustrating on that front. But yeah. Sleepy Rod at Calby. Yeah, I've used my desktop and a Capital One card when using their shopping offers. So far, so good. Yeah, I always try to use my desktop when I can through that. But yeah, I've heard the only problem is like if you don't use a Capital One card and they don't give you your points, the customer service experience can be a little bit harder to actually get those points. So maybe it definitely using a Capital One card was probably the best practice, but I've kind of played it fast and loose on that and haven't had any major oofs yet. So, but yeah, awesome. Philip's credit card binder is thicker than the complete Harry Potter book set. Yeah, I
Yeah.
will say like half of it is just expired debit cards from all the closed checking account bonuses I've gotten.
Mm-hmm.
We actually ended up getting I think $2,000 in checking account bonuses last year. So
How about it? That's pretty
yeah,
cool.
yeah,
Those checking account bonuses are just free money, honestly. I mean,
oh yeah,
if you're willing to just put in like the hour total worth of time to actually set it up, I mean, it's just free
yeah.
money.
Yeah, what I do is for my main job, so my full-time job, I separate it out into two different accounts because most of the time it's only like $500 a month in direct deposits in order to actually trip the bonus and then also make sure you don't have to pay fees on that account. And so
Yeah,
I do that. And then I also have my part-time. So I also teach part-time. And so that is also, so I can work at three different bonuses at any given time,
that's
which
pretty
is
cool.
nice. Yeah. So yeah, Calby, that's good to hear. Sleepy Rod, background. Yeah, I just left it negative. Absolutely. Yeah, no, I'm not backspinning that. Matt Flashner, 100% want the built card. If, however, the mortgage multiplier is not higher than 1x to me, it's not worth carrying an annual fee. Yeah, no, I agree with that. We'll just do the $0 annual fee version. Especially too, like it depends on like if they do it the Mesa way or if they make you actually put your mortgage on the card. Because I know a lot of mortgage suppliers don't let you do that. So it'll be interesting to see kind of the mechanics of that too.
Yep.
All right. Let's see. Stinky Monkey Bill has to offer something competitive. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, and a Walgreens or Spin Cycle Class Credit ain't cut it. You know,
Yeah.
and
No.
if you get the bill program right, you can do the free blade helicopter thing, right?
Ooh,
So
how about it?
yeah, yeah. I looked into it though. The only problem with that is that if you want your bags to come with you, it's it's a substantial fee as well. So
Mm.
you know, which is like if you're traveling from the airport, you kind of probably have a bag or two. But
Yep.
yeah.
That's yeah, it's weird.
Yeah. Calby, maybe I'm wrong. I tried caviar in Vegas buffet and I didn't like it, but maybe I had the wrong type. Very salty. Yeah. It's kind of one of those things where like it adds to the dish, right? Like the best Caesar salads I've ever had have like two pieces of sardines, like actually, or not sardines, but whatever the fish is that's in there, on the actual salad. And like it really like the extra saltiness, like it adds to the whole thing. But if it was all that, then that would be bad. But yeah, no, that's a strong point, Calby. Calby has a true negative annual effect. Yeah. Oh yeah, so Chad is able to confirm. Yeah, the caviar in first class on Emirates and on Q Suites is bottomless and great every time. The wife and I can vouch for that. Okay,
There
great,
you go.
nice.
Noted.
I knew that Chad would probably have the experience to back this one up. So yeah, thanks so much, Chad. Damn, y'all are still going. I filmed, edited, and now uploading a new video already. Yeah, I mean, when the chat is
Conversation's
with
been
you,
going, man.
yeah, exactly. Pop off, Kings. Yeah, that's amazing. Let's see. What up, Calvi? Okay, yeah. So they're talking. Oh wow. So Chad's chopping up a vid from Niagara Falls Redemption. Wow, I may have to talk to you about that, Chad, because we're so my in-laws, they recently went to Niagara Falls a couple years ago, and I don't think they picked the right hotel because they were less than enthused. So if there is a good hotel, like you may have to let me know. And I look forward to watching the video anyway. But uh, yeah. All right. Been crazy house purchase is such a pain. Oh yeah, that's right. Calby recently acquired a house. We actually did a video together with Anthony Venture talking about credit card tips for homeowners. That was a really cool discussion. All right, Matt Darling, if this makes it in before the end, I stacked with 15% Amex offer and 110 manufacturer rebate. Wow, that's amazing.
That's the way to do it. That's
Yeah,
what's that?
great
Triple
job.
dipping?
Yeah, so through the Capital One portal with an Amex card for the offer and then a rebate. That is how you do it, man.
There you
You are
go.
honestly. Let's just round of applause for Matt Darling over here winning the credit card game. So awesome. All right. Well, we are quickly kind of reaching the end of our conversation, which is great because we're also reaching the end of our time. When you replace your tires, I'm going to ask for mileage credit. Oh, okay.
Hmm.
Thanks so much,
I've never heard
Calvi.
of that. I'll have to look that up and figure out what that is, honestly, because I've never even heard of that.
Yeah, that is amazing. Okay. All right. Calabi, question. Anyone have questions on the MAID card? It's another card that earns back on mortgage payments. Yeah, I looked into that, and I think it's only if you have your mortgage with MAID, if I remember correctly.
Hmm.
I was looking into it. It seemed really interesting to me, but I ended up actually doing a pass on that one. But yeah, no, if you got a connection with the CEO, I know a lot of people that would be very interested in hearing that. If you could bring them on or something, that would be amazing.
Isn't
I would
isn't
watch that in a heartbeat.
isn't Calvi Mr. Connection? Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what that one. Yeah, Mr. Connections himself.
yeah. Kirby G's just booked 2 nights of the Captain Osaka, 13,000 points for 2 nights. Wow. 4.63 cents per point. Holy poop. Thanks so much for keeping us
Wow.
monetized, Kirby. Appreciate you. But that is an amazing redemption. Yeah. Damn, about 5 cents per point. Killing it. Yeah. And Caldert says best advice I have for Niagara Falls is to go to the Canadian side. Okay, yeah, I've heard a couple people mention that. All right, well, I think this is probably a good time as any to go ahead and head out. I did want to go ahead and say thanks so much again for BP for that super chat. You are literally the goat. We appreciate you being your addiction. I love it. So that's great. But anyway, yeah, and then Kirby, who wants to go to Canada. But anyway, thanks again for everyone that was here. Please go ahead and hit that like button if you haven't already. If you haven't subscribed to Tyler's Credit Cards Tips, please use that clickable link in the description below to go ahead and go over to his channel, click on that link, and go ahead and watch all 19 of his videos too while you're at it. So everyone, immediately you get your homework from Mr. Stuckey. Go ahead and watch all of Tyler's videos because you're going to learn a lot of really cool stuff. So
Awesome.
anyway, thanks again to you, Tyler, for being here. I really appreciate you. Is there anything you'd like to say to your audience before we wrap up?
Uh, just thank you guys all so much. I mean, this has been such an awesome journey. You know, getting to meet everyone in the credit card space and getting support the whole way through has just been so amazing. And it's a dream come true. And I hope to be able to continue to really make great content for everyone to be able to learn something and continue to learn stuff myself while making those videos. So yeah, that's pretty much it. And just thank you, Philip, for having me on. This itself was a dream come true as well. So I really
Nice.
appreciate it.
Thank
I'd
you.
love to be back on in the future if you would
Absolutely. Yeah.
be so courteous as to have me again. But
Definitely. Yeah. This is a great conversation. I loved it.
yeah, thank you. Thank you to everybody. Thank you, Philip,
Thank you.
as
And
well.
Background Blue did have a good question that it seems a couple people are interested in. What guitar is that in your background?
Hold on, let me grab it real quick. I don't know off the top of my head. Does it have the brand on it at all? It does. It's a Zenny. It's a Zenny branded not tattoo. My Zenny branded guitar. My wonderful girlfriend got it for me for Christmas.
Oh, that's awesome.
I've been trying to learn a few songs, but it hasn't come very naturally to me. But I'm learning though. I'm trying.
Okay. Well, you have to let us know when you get it because you can play on the next live stream. So
Oh, absolutely.
awesome. Well, thanks again, Tyler, for being here. I really appreciate you. Thanks so much for all of the people that stayed with us this entire 2 hours and 45 minutes we've been here. This is kind of a huge live stream for me. This is one of the longest I think I've ever done. So thank you so much for everybody. And we're going to wrap it up. But thanks again.
Thank you, guys.